500 plus 700 to $1,200 cash profit day. It's a lot of money. What sucks though is I need $400. $400 more dollars, and then I just get back to what I had, my 1,500. Would I have peaked here? Yeah, I peaked at 1,500. Which I'm trying about to get back. I could be getting so much more though. There it is, but then this shit just pulled. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got even more back now, wow. Did I? Damn it. Had another 7 points there. Okay, so I'm back up into here. What a fucking day. Of course I missed all this. This was tough, but still really good price action. And who would have thought these 9s, these 1-9s, man, they were deadly out there. Look at this. They were balling. And then I actually caught up a lot of here. Caught most of it here, honestly. It was what? This might be the death, actually. Just kidding. Should have held. But wow. Big gains here, big gains. Damn, I should be at like 2,000, but I got cooked over here really stupidly. Scalping this is going kind of great so far though, I have to admit. Shit. I was gonna take that, should have took that. Ugh. Damn it, I was gonna take this $100. Whatever. So I'm at the 1,500s here. Well, that's annoying. Wow. Boom. Wow. much am I gonna push my luck here? 1500 and 1500. Divided by 2, that's 700. Times 2, that's 1400 cash profit in my bank account today, really. I mean, I look at these. 3 more green days and I got a huge $2,000 payout for this 1 week. It's big. Not to mention my Weeble. If only I was here for SPX, I was gonna short that. Or at least I was thinking about it. This might be the death. Oh yeah. What a day. What an incredible day. What a day, baby. $2K bill. Oh my gosh, I should have even sold. Oh my god. It's kind of a huge ass knife, but oh dude, I sold way too goddamn early. Oh, I just took a huge hit. This is what I was looking for though, yeah. Oh, it just got me break even. Dude, fuck. I had to take this. You guys just saw that, dude. Oh god damn it. When I leave that trade, I left at 53. God, son of a bitch. Fuck. I left at 50. Oh dude, that'd be 3,000. I'd be up today. 1,500. Oh dude, I'd be 3,000. Not fun. Got 1,000 cash profit, 1,700 cash profit today. Fuck. Dude, that was 3,000 right there, dog. Oh dude, and I sold this. Oh my god. Just missing across the boards. This is tragedy. One phony tragedy, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. I'm mad about this stick here. I sold it 53. And this shit dropped another 20 points for free. Dude, that's another $1,000. $1,000. Jesus, dude. Wait, this could just squeeze me, huh? Get me out of here. Oh, and then they do this shit. I should start sizing down. Wow. Damn it, dude, I should be at 3,000. here, huh? I was expecting that to bounce. Whoa. Survive. Probably doesn't. Damn it. Could just eat shit here. What was that loss? $200 loss, right? Come on, bounce out. You know you want to. No, you really don't. Oh, this looks deadly to die. Yeah, get me out. Ah, fuck. Once again, though, should I just play the fake out breakouts? I'm starting to give all of my gains back again. No. Just bounce. Come on. $700 bounce. Oh, I just lost a lot. Really? I knew it was gonna do that shit. Dude, I was... Oh my... Dude, no. I was literally sitting on that. Well, you can't even join the fucking bid. Dude, I was sitting on that. That was huge gains. I should have got down here. I'm just shit on. I think I am just over trading. I peaked at 1800. I would stop being so greedy. Dude, I just wish I caught that 3000. Dude, I saw 3000. Why did I sell at 53? Would have been an extra $800. And this fucking bullshit. I think that was too high. What was it? I'll just stop out break even, I guess, if it doesn't go. I should be under down here anyways, dude. That's fuck shit. Here we go, though. Here, I'm back. I should be more back, whatever. Here we go, I'm back. But dude, no, that's bullshit. I caught a whole another 20 points. I should be even higher, 2200. That was bullshit, dude. They waked me and then they went. This thing doing anything fun? No. Not compared to the Qs right now. Wow, what a day. Haven't even looked at CBC all day. It's been just selling off too fucking much. What a VWAP break and base short though on this 2.9, huh? blasted though. I should have caught down here. I did catch that. You guys saw me. Maybe shorting's kind of stupid here though. Damn it, I didn't like the trade neither. I was gonna get out. Stop being greedy at $30, Jacob. Really just got blasted. Oh, whoa. Imagine they hammer this down. Surely not though. Just over trading. Oh, I just survived. A little bit. Oh, I just survived that. Somehow. Wow. Wow. How did I survive that, huh? I think now it will begin its mega chop of everybody. I should just call it here. I'm really greedy for another 1,000, dude. I got robbed here. I caught this, and I sold at 53, bro. Sold at 53, and it went to fucking almost 20 points. Just look at this shit. Some on-up and shit. I feel like this is such a fake out for. Yeah, I don't know why. But I can just feel the fake outish. Probably should have scalped that 265 though, huh? Oh, this is my bigger account. Taking that. Wow. Oh, dude, I could 50 con. Ooh. Dude, just hit me. I can 50 con. Dude, I could 50 con trades like a fucking maniac. Shit. I'm not gonna though. Once again. Ow. Oh shit, fake up breakout and they squeeze me. Oh. Not fun. Come down. Well, squeezed. Fucking A. Huge loss. Oh, last wicks here, Jacob. Oh, last wicks. Did not fucking pay too much attention. Man. How much did I lose earlier? Like 400 bucks? Should bounce a little bit up into 62s, right? Or just eat a fucking knife. I was gonna short this, dude. I was gonna short this. Oh my god. Oh, and I was gonna catch that. Oh my god. Maybe all this is just too much. What am I at? I want my 15. I was at 1800, right? I gotta put it here. I was at 1800, right? Yep, 1850. Down to 1500 now. What a day. What an incredible day, dude. Just wow. I've just been going up and down with this account. It's been stuck at 1500s, 1800s. I can't get it past like this one. It's at 24. Should be 3000 too. Fucking thing. Yeah. Jeez Louise. I was gonna 20 con short that. That would have been fucking gains. Just missed it. Yeah, that was a 220, dude. You know, CBC is incredibly short here. I'm just taking trades willy-nilly now. I shouldn't be, as you can see. Yeah, I just got squeezed like all hell. Oh wow. It's my chance to get out. Unless they just re-short it. Oh Jake, that was your chance to get out. It's your chance to get out. These are huge gains to, you know, a loss is huge. I'm trying to build here. My chance to get out. I fucked it up, dude. Dude, Jacob, that's a lot of money. 1800, man. Might just have to call it here, tragically. Dude, should I 50 con shit? Like a fucking maniac? I tragically just went to, I should have just reversed that fucking shit, dude. Man, I need 600 bucks. How about you guys give it? already starting to tilt. I'm losing it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking or doing right now, but I just lost $1,000. That's huge, dude. That's $500. Here's a short, but I need $1,000 bill, dude. Okay, wait, I can actually get there pretty quick. I'm just stuck here. Hey, what the hell? Little bastards. This might be the beginning of Big Chop. Did you just drop 10 more points? You could still do that, right? Surely. Okay, here we go, nice. Oh, but there's... Oh, dude. You little niggers. You guys have got to stop doing that. I don't want to take profits. Please go down to 1,000. Yes, there you go. Okay, not so bad. I'm back. Back into 1400s, but I had a beautiful, beautiful 1800. Oh, what a profit take. I'm the GOAT. I'm the absolute GOAT. I think it might just be it here. This sucks though. This should be, oh dude, 53 to 30. That's 20. I already know that's $800. Should be like 2,800, 2,900. Damn. What a market has been. It's not really a signal to short here, but here I am, I guess. Damn it. Probably isn't the best trade at all, no. Yeah, it wasn't. Well, this is my good account. I need to stop being greedy. That was a terrible, terrible trade. I was down there, dude. I had a chance to get out, Take your chances to get out, Jacob. Oh, I'm so mad. I just took a fucking huge loss. It was like a $200 loss there. Wait, Jacob, this could get bad. Was it 2,400, man? Ugh. Oh, I'm so mad. Fuck, I should have locked out. Might just be squeezing me badly here now. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just lost fucking $800. Dude, I was... see? Get out of the trade, Jacob. Fucking god damn it. Oh my god, dude. How did I lose 800 in a flash? All because of this bullshit. Now it wants to sell. But it's not going to give me my 800 back, is it? I think I'm getting tilted and they're just going to squeeze me out. I have to just lock out here with just... why don't I just lock out, dude? Where's 800? 800's down there. And they're just squeezing my ass out. This fucking sucks. I think I just have to accept I'm not getting my 800 back, huh? This is awful. I was gonna leave, dude, at that break even, but I didn't click. I don't know why I'm so stupidly stubborn like that for a couple of numbers. It's literally just a couple of numbers, Jacob. Why are you being so stubborn? This really sucks. Now this is dropping, but I need this. But it's probably not going to do that. Here's a sharp drop. I need another huge point. I knew it was going to do this shit. Oh. Oh my god. Huge losses. I just ruined my day. Jacob. Oh my god, dude. 1,800, 1,400. Dude, I was at fucking 2,000. I just lost 1,200 huge fucking goddamn dollars. You gotta know when to leave, dude. Oh my god. I should have seen CBC. Oh, dude, I was gonna grab. Oh my god, I'm livid. I just lost $1,000 in the blink of a fucking eye. Oh my god, I'm pissed. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You know how big $1,200 is, dude? It's greed. Topstep is just ooh, you're greedy. Look, I lost my 50 con power, dude. Topstep is the epitome of greed out here these days, dog. Like, fuck. I just be getting squeezed out here terribly. Oh, I'm so livid. These are just stupid trades, aren't they? Oh. I just put myself in such a bad spot. $70, Jacob. $70. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Fuck, bro. Oh my god. I'm just so greedy. I'm so greedy. Okay, damage control. I lost like 1,000 in each just now on that stupid fucking bullshit ass play. Keep shorting and well, I just shouldn't be though, right? I'm losing my rationality here kind of a little bit, honestly, huh? I should just go be getting oats. I caught a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's still just way red. Here we go. Here's a big squeeze. But it needs bigger. This is nice though. Oh, I was greedy, huh? Like greedy's just now. Now I'm stressed out. I'm really stressed out here now. This bounces. Fuck. Whatever. Should have held. Should have held. This bounces though. Maybe I could get flowing. Nope. Just should have held and shut up. I'm just stressed out. I'm just shit on. Shouldn't have done this to myself at all. This sucks. Coming back a little bit. Not nearly as much as I should be, right? Got a lot of stress now too. Okay, nice bounce. I'll take that. And I'll take that. Okay, 1700 and 1600. That's cool. I'm gonna take a break. I'm stressed out. I need oats. Okay, well, one of these isn't even that bad. Okay, let's see this. This one's the one's that bad. 2400. I lost 3. I got 700. And then here, peak was 1800. I'm actually back. Honestly, I'll just call it here. What I'm really pissed about is just this one. I'm pissed about my, I'm pissed about 700 here. I should have just locked it the fucking fuck out. Now I'm just stressed out and shit. Dude, I want my $800 back. It's $700. I guess here is kind of whatever, not really even. And I even could have gotten this. Still a lot of money, you know. But I really am just feeling stressed out. What else I need to eat? fill a gap, do they? Wait, this is a retarded trade. Isn't it? Pretty much is. What it is it's over. This is tragic as hell. Here's a dip, but my head can't even handle the stress, honestly. I mean, 800, that's 1600 cash profit. It should be 2000 though. That was 1200 and then 800, so 2000 cash profit, and I'm fucking greedy as shit. I feel bad, dude. Oh, my 2400. It's this right here, man. 24 fucking $100. This kind of just looks like it's just gonna squeeze, huh? Need $700. Nice. 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 Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. There we go. Caught that bubble pop. Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir. I'm back. I'm back, baby. Huge gains just there. Exit at 191. Exit at 191. That's perfect. Hey, I'm back. All that complaining, but I'm back and better. Let's go, baby. Stressful though. But I just caught a beautiful knife. Good thing I had it again. Probably dies more too, honestly. But I don't know if I want to. We could just add soft, maybe. Oh, beautiful. That was beautiful. Yes, sir, that was beautiful. 800, 2400. Dang, I really died. Probably wouldn't have gotten in though, you know? So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, look at this bounce. 2-9 can be scary when they flip, so. Yeah, great profit take. Wow. Oh, wow. Here we go. Yes, sir. Now I'm pretty happy on this. Okay, look at this, okay. 2K green, that's 2. That's 2, right? 2K divided by 2, right? In half. That's 1K. And then another 1K. So 2K cash profit on the day. 2K cash profit in a single day. Should I be greedy? You know how much I'm gonna make it work? I'm gonna start working with the children. I'm gonna make fucking $50 a day. Versus 2K. Ain't that some shit? Oh, look at this bounce. Crazy how I could be greedy for even more, huh? How do I turn on that trailing drawdown shit? Wow, this is beautiful though. I also have 50 con power now. Very nice. Now this is how it should be for a day like today. Yeah, absolutely. I've caught, look at this, I'm doing ChatGPT's thing. I caught 50 points on 20 cons straight of green profit. 50 points. You know, that's like, that's here to here. Just holding the whole way. Wow, that's beautiful. I'm greedy for more, huh? But I'll just get shit on, man. I'll get shit on if I try to be greedy for more. How's the cash account looking anyways? I have got $900 in there, still ready to go. And what a great profit take at 91. What a great bubble pop. And thank God I added more. What was that trade? $600 green trade. That's nice. Very nice. Sucks, huh? I don't want to call it here. I don't. I really want to just keep scalping up into 3,000. But it just doesn't work like that, does it? I'm still nervous. But I think I'm gonna just leave. I don't want to. Oh wow. Check this out. Freaking maple. Well, this is cool. That was stressful, but dude, I have 50 con power. Oh, and gold is taking a tumble. What a trade. 16, 17 point gain there. I was thinking about longing. Wow. Oh, I'm rich. Look at that balance, baby. Oh, it looks good. 2,000 and 2,000. really just need to aim for just 150s, bro. Just aim for 150s. Literally just aim for 150s at a time. There's zero reason for any more home runs at all. I already got my home run today. Across 2 XFAs. Those are big home runs. Oh my god. Oh my god. You get me away from that thing though, huh? The hell was that? Feels like February, minus the stress. What's with this? Stressed myself out pretty badly there for no reason. Check out this leg. Kind of like this. I guess I didn't catch the other one, but whatever. I'll just take that. That was $100. I like $100. And my head feels cooked. I'm just stressed out, bro. I got stressed out. Stressed out down here. I don't want to call it, dude. I don't. But I've had days like that before, man. There was this one day I got to 4,000 in February, and I was just like, I should call it. But I was like, dude, no. It's so much money now. It's too easy. And then I went from 4,000 to like, I don't know, 2,000 or 1,700, which sucked. 50 con power now, so that's pretty cool. I should aim to really protect profits tomorrow or tonight. I should put on PDLO and a contract limit. So I put MGC or MNQ is what, and then just put 10 cons. Kind of want to scalp green. This could just cook me though. Actually, this probably does just cook me, doesn't it? It does. Yeah, let's just run out. Out. And out. More wins. More success. Oh, look at that scalp. That's good scalp. Wow. They're basically both 2400. 2300, 2400. Let's go. Look at this. 2400. Divide that by 2. 1200 times 2. 2400 cash profit on the day. Feels different on Topstep, but it's real money though, which is crazy. You could very easily die tomorrow, Thursday, Friday though. Easy. Easily. I gotta set up my locks, honestly. To have made 2400 profit in one day, yeah, I should set up my locks for sure. So, if I can get $600 more, so that's 3K. That'd be a 3K payout. That'd be 3K profit for this week. Beautiful. Wow. We're gonna squeeze out. A fake out breakout. Wow, wow, wow. What's CBC saying? They rejected a 1020. Wow. How much are those puts? This might hurt the soul. Actually, they weren't that crazy. Check out VWAP though. So 64. Yeah, that's big. The market has been absolutely crazy lately. Look at this leg. 100 cents. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if I want to touch this thing. I really just probably shouldn't. I like a good scalp though. is this on? Yeah, it is. More wins, more success, more scalping. It's not even a knife. I'm just playing with house money at this point. Looking a little scary. Oh man, that sucked. I lost $80. I think I start fighting the trend here with the sell-off. I lost $80. Shit. Yeah, give me my $80 back. Run over. Nice. Oh yeah, I got my $80 back. Oh, hey, wait. One more. Back at 2,400 officially. That was a good profit take. Wow. 2,400 cash profit on the day. Let's go, dude. Dang, I was looking at that. Oh well. This can just get a hand very quickly, which is the issue. Why don't I just play micros? Honestly, let's just play micros. It's working a bit. What a day. Would you believe I missed all of this? Which is pretty terrible, but even in that, I was still able to catch huge bills. Probably shouldn't be touching this. Actually, yeah, I probably shouldn't have touched that. I should not have touched that. Oh no, this is kind of where it begins. Wait, what the fuck? How did I lose that much though? Why'd I click on 20? I said I wouldn't touch it. And then I touch it. Ugh. Oh no, dude. It's just too much. It's just too dangerous, huh? This thing has to bounce to 400 now. Or 300 it is. Which it can do. This is just so scary. Oh, I was gonna exit. Jacob. Fucking goddamn it, dude. You just missed huge. Lock it out, dude. Oh, dude, I was so happy. And I'm just shitting on myself. I just lost $600. Oh my god. I just lost 700. I said I wasn't gonna touch 20. Here I am, stupidly touching 20. I just lost 1,000 actually. Fuck. Oh, this is not good. When I got so lucky. Jacob, lock out. 2,400. Oh, dude, I could've just brushed my teeth. Instead, I just lose. I just lost $1,000. Dude, I just lost $1,000. God damn it, Jacob. Here's a little bit of a bounce. You all want the bill breaker though. Are you gonna give that shit? I don't fucking know. I still just missed big. 500. There's a 9. I could reject kind of big. I'm gonna just take this. Here we go. There we go. I'm back. Big squeeze back. I'll take that. Yes, $1,000 bills back. Oh my god. There it is, I'm back. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't tell me it's gonna keep going. Oh my god, I'm back. Wow. What the fuck? Yep, I'm back. 3376. to here, and I bet it's, look at this shit. Oh my god. Could you believe that? Wow. Damn it though, fuck, dude. Damn it. When I exit? 66? They just squeezed again. Might be huge now, huge. Oh my god, fuck. I just had to take profit, that was $1,000 bill. I left another fucking, like $600 on the board, right? What is it? You have $600. Fuck, nigga. And it just keeps going. Oh my bounce. That was a last wick, yeah. But I just had to take profits up there. What the hell? Well, here I am for another scalp, but I could just get squeezed up to hell, huh? I am getting squeezed to high hell. I gotta get out of here. This is just too much, Jacob. Man, fuck though. I sold way too early. No, I just took a 250 loss. Probably. I'll just get out break even. Wow though. I really just left all that on the board. That sucks so bad. That was $800. Man, I could be 3K each. Oh, why didn't I hold? I sold once I saw a $1,000 bill. Let's just... Oh, my greed, my greed. My greed is an all-time high. My greed is just insane right now, to be honest. I need to stop being so insane with my greed, probably, huh? Wow, just look at this shit, dude. I'll take $70. Oh, wow. I'll take $85. And shit. I'm back into 2400s. Again though, man, fuck. Oh, why didn't I hold? I saw $1,000. I got back to 2400. I was happy. I wasn't expecting this fucking squeeze. Guess I should have scaled. I guess I should have scaled. This sucks, this sucks. Got training now. I should have. Dude. I could be at 3,000. I should be 3,000 cash profit in one day today. What a last wick too, huh? Well, what a last wick. Wow, what a last wick. And look at this fucking bounce. Also, let's just detach these two. Oh, I'm so greedy. Man, that sucked. I sold. I wasn't expecting him to give a bounce like that, bro. I already bounced good too. I mean, that was $1,000 bill, man. Look. Should go look at this shit. Go figure. Or, I mean, not even, but still. That was an $870 bill. What the hell is that? Should I get back in here? Probably goes red actually, doesn't it? I would think. Think I should get out of the trade, huh? Yeah. Wow. What a day. Today's just off the charts. Incredible. Oh, look at this bounce. I mean, actually, it hasn't bounced yet. Should probably get out before I get a knife, huh? I got bailed out earlier, though. Why am I being greedy now? Yeah, see? Ugh. Whoa. Whoa. Give me my 600 back. Wouldn't that be some shit? Ah. What in the hell? What is going on here, Jethro? See, you got my 2400. It's just never enough, huh? Because, dude, it sucks. Very next stick, man. Just fucking yeet it. Very next stick yeeted for $800. Uh, 3,200, bro. I should be at 3,200. Next stick yeeted for $800 and I'm greedy as shit. Come on, let's just get into our training. Never brush my teeth neither. This sucks. $800, $800, 3,200, 3,200. I could have scalped that. Also, this fucking thing isn't fucking working. Oh, jeez.
There we go, you guys. Make sure you guys are all muted when you come in here. Make sure everyone is muted. Throw in the chat. I'm seeing some sixes, ones, a lot of threes. 75771. Cool. Awesome. Again, just our very quick warm welcome, you guys. What we do with students like the Feeling Finder or something like this, or something, very fun and neat, to kind of like break the ice, right? So yeah, so that's great. I'm seeing a lot of threes, some nines, eights. Awesome. Okay, cool. We'll have a different one tomorrow. I'm not sure what the warm welcome was for tomorrow. I forgot that one. But yeah, so it looks like, yeah, we just have about as many people as we did yesterday, which is great. Thank you guys all for being here. We're going to go ahead and go. We're going to skip this slide. We all know the training norms and expectations by now. This is the video that we watched yesterday. I'm not going to play it, obviously, but again, you guys stay muted unless you are being asked to speak, which you guys, some of you will be speaking here in a few minutes. We're going to do like we did yesterday, going to have a little quick community circle question. So please stay muted unless you're called. Definitely have your cameras on, you guys. And then if you have any questions, I believe there is a raised hand feature. Click that raised hand feature or type something in the chat when I see it. I'll go ahead and I'll get to it. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Breakout rooms, again, probably won't do breakout rooms again today. We'll just probably do everything as a group if there are any breakout rooms. Tatiana has her hand raised. Go ahead, Tatiana. What you got? You can go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead, Tatiana. Maybe it was an accident. Okay. We'll go ahead and continue.
Reese, I think she said her phone is broke.
You know what? I do see it. Okay. Won't turn on. Okay, that's fine, Tatiana. I appreciate that. Jacob, you said the same thing as well. Okay, you guys. Appreciate you for letting me know. But yeah, again, just instead of playing the video, since we already saw it yesterday, same thing, you guys. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and go from there. And we're gonna get right into our community circle, right? So we did our warm welcome, how we were on a scale or a scale of memes. Yesterday, our question was what? What's your name? What district are you from? And what your favorite job was, right? So today we're going to do the same thing, get in our community circle. We're not going to do breakout rooms. We're just going to do it here for 3 minutes. I'm going to call on a few coaches, you guys, just like yesterday, about 10, 15 of you guys. And we're just going to simply answer our question in your group, which is just going to be us. Share your name, your district, favorite vacation spot too. Favorite vacation spot and your favorite snack. We'll all have 3 minutes. I'll try to call on some people I didn't call on yesterday. I don't really remember who I called on yesterday, but we'll try to get through as many people as possible. So again, you guys know in our community circle, obviously we have a talking piece. Of course, we're not going to do that since we're here on, a computer. If you have that talking piece, just like me in this circle right here, right? I don't have the talking piece. It looks like our student right next to me has the talking piece, and they're speaking, and everyone else is listening. They don't have to speak. They can pass if they want. If you agree with someone, we're going to do the shaka. So if you agree with what someone says about their vacation spot, if they say Las Vegas, everyone get the shaka or do the shaka. And then whatever is said in the circle stays in the circle, okay? So yeah, so everyone just be prepared to share, be prepared to unmute. Again, you're just going to say your name, favorite vacation spot, and favorite snack. And throw your district in there as well, right? So it'll look something like this. Hey, you guys, my name is Reese. Val Verde Unified District. My favorite vacation spot is Orlando. And I like, I don't know, I like chocolate chip cookies, right? And that's what I would say, right? So you're going to answer this prompt right here. Just again, something else to break the ice, which is what we do in our community circles, which is really great, along with our word of the week. So I'll go ahead and start this 3-minute timer, and I'll go ahead and call on a few coaches. We'll go ahead and start with Vincent. Go ahead, Vincent. Name, district, favorite vacation spot, and snack. Make sure you unmute yourself, you guys. Sometimes I know coaches talk and they are muted. Vince, I think you may be muted. Let me see. Okay, Vince is having a little trouble.
All right, I'm good now.
There we go. Go ahead, Vince.
For sure. I'm Vince. I'm out of Valverde. My favorite vacation spot is El Salvador, specific spot Sensunte. It's got my heart down there. Favorite snack is my guilty pleasure, Tommy's chili cheese fries, extra chili, extra cheese every time.
Awesome. Thank you, Vince. I appreciate that. We'll go ahead and go right to Adam. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us your name, district, favorite vacation spot, and snack.
Yeah, I'm Adam. My district is Valverde. My favorite vacation spot, I love going to Joshua Tree. I love getting away and enjoying the desert. The night sky there is really nice. And then my favorite snack right now is watermelon, man. Watermelon all day for summer.
Love it. I love it. Again, you guys, very quickly, try not to leave the call because, again, just like yesterday, it may mark your attendance as 0. So just keep that in mind as well. But appreciate that, Adam. We'll go ahead and go to Daniel. Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us the prompt.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm from the Valverde district. And my favorite vacation spot, probably Honolulu. They have some nice beaches, some turtles,
Training and training.
and my favorite snack is pineapple.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Great job. We'll go ahead and go with let's see. Give me someone from let's go with Whitney. Go ahead, Whitney.
Hi everyone, my name is Whitney Findley, and my district is Corona Norco, and my favorite vacation spot is
Damn it.
Disney World, and my favorite snack is sushi.
Cool. Awesome. Great job. Thank you for that, Whitney. We'll go ahead and go with Maribel. Go ahead, Maribel. Unmute yourself and tell us the prompt.
Hi, my name is Maribel. I'm from the Corona district. I don't really go vacationing, but my favorite snack would be probably goldfish.
Goldfish. Love goldfish.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. We'll do a couple more here. Go ahead, Audrisha. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us the prompt.
My name is Adrisha. From Corona District. My favorite vacation spot will probably be down at the river in Blythe. And my favorite snack is hot Cheetos.
Awesome. Definitely. Love that answer. We'll do one more here. We'll go with Jacob. Go ahead, Jacob. Unmute yourself and tell us the prompt.
All right, sorry. I'm Jacob. I'm from the Valverde district. My favorite vacation spot, Lake Nevada, Lake Mead, and I like chocolate chip cookies for a snack.
Awesome. Cool. Great job, you guys. A lot of great answers. Again, you guys know, for those coaches who did that enrichment training in Corona, that's what the warm welcome / community circle or engage portion is, right? When we're engaging with students, breaking the ice, right? Giving everyone, more so of a chance to speak, and, to make it a safe space, right? And, that's the whole point of these community circles. So use these all the time, you guys, on in your site. Whether it's for the word of the week or just for anything like this, right? Okay, boys and girls, we just came back to school. I want everyone to tell me what you did over the summer with our talking piece, right? Something along those lines. So that was our prompt for today. Great job. We'll try to get the rest of the coaches who haven't spoken, for the warm welcome or for the community circle tomorrow. And then, yeah, we'll see how many we can get tomorrow. So we'll skip that breakout room activity. We're going to go ahead and just, talk about what the onboarding training is like. And we talked about these yesterday again. We're on this second oval here, this day 2. Tomorrow is going to be day 3 for, the rest of the coaches here. Then after that, as long as you guys show up to all of these, you'll be done with those virtual trainings. Again, for Valverde, we have this field training on Thursday, right? That's going to be our EQ training where we're just going to go over our EQ. And then the following Monday, we're going to have that sport training, which is going to be flag football. And then Corona coaches, after tomorrow, you guys are done, right? You guys are done with those virtual trainings. I'll let Cassandra know that she has to reach out to you guys. She may make you work this week, or she may ask you if you want to maybe start sometime next week. Just let her know your availability and things like that. But aside from that, as long as you guys show up to all these trainings, you guys should be getting the certificates. After as well. I don't know what time they came, maybe last night, maybe an hour after the training. I believe you upload those on HR Cloud, so make sure you guys are doing that. Go district training email tomorrow in person. Yeah, Chris, that's something Cassandra set up. That's not something I set up. So if the Corona coaches have any questions about that, just reach out to Cassandra. My job is just this portion, you guys, is to train you guys on our onboarding trainings. That's a district training. That's something totally different, okay? But yeah, so that's where we are right now. We'll just go right to the learning objectives, you guys. By the end of this training, you will know how to explain a label's expanded learning program structure and process or purpose, So that's what today is all about, right? In Corona, we know we're going to be doing some expanded learning, which actually got pushed back a little. So for the first couple weeks or 3-4 weeks, you guys may just be doing EQ, right? For Valverde, I believe we're starting on the 18th, Monday the 18th, with enrichment specifically. I know we start on the 13th, but I think those first couple days are just going to be us getting acclimated to the students, making sure we have the correct attendance roster, things like that. So I think we're technically going to start on the 18th. So that's what this training is all about, right? Going over the expanded learning program, which is essentially our Alevo enrichment, right? The stuff we do in the classroom. So that's what pretty much this is about today. So we're going to learn that, how to foster a safe, inclusive learning environment inside the classroom, how to lead an enrichment lesson using the 4 E's model, supporting students during homework block, because that's another thing, you guys. Think about after you finish the enrichment, you may still have to be inside for another hour, or there may be another block when you come back inside, right? Students have homework, right? So what do we do during that homework block? If students don't have homework, we have meaningful activities for them and cool prompts, which is pretty cool. And then last but not least, we use Coach HQ to plan and adapt your lessons effectively. Towards the end of this training, we're going to open up Coach HQ, or I'm going to open up Coach HQ, and I'm going to show you guys where to find everything, where to find the manuals, right? Because again, Coach HQ is where everything lives. It has, again, our sports games, our EQ games, and our enrichment manuals. So all of that is on Coach HQ. So we'll get into that later, you guys. Don't worry. But I'll show you guys where to find like the word of the week, where to find the game of the week, where to find some warm up, some cool downs, and of course the main portion, which is where to find the manuals with the actual lessons, right? So why should you know this? Obviously, higher engagement equals, having more fun at the school sites, right? Building relationships and knowing various ways to engage students will help you run fun, effective sessions. Again, you want to establish yourself as a fun, assertive coach on day one, where students are gonna, want to come and see you, right? And if that is the case, they're gonna want to actually do the lessons that you present to them, play our games that we play with them. So again, higher engagement means more fun. TK through eighth graders, students we serve range from the ages of 4 to 13, right? It's important to know how to adjust your instruction, the games being played, and expectations for your group. I believe in Valverde, we're only going to have one middle school, which is March Middle School, but that's only lunch recess, so that's not after school. And then in Corona, we're not doing any middle schools, I believe, so you guys won't even have to worry about that. So it's really only going to be TK through fifth grade, you guys. And then flexibility, right? Even if you already know you're working at middle school, your school assignment could change, right? Or you just may be called to be a floater one day. And so, it's always important to kind of be flexible, knowing other sites, and how they run things and, their students and things of that nature, okay? Let's see. For each game of the week, as we will be there 5 days a week, would the games change each day? So so Whitney, since you guys are going to be on site 5 days a week, you can just play the game of the week like once, right? And then you can play any other game in the playbook that you guys want, and that goes for the Valverde coaches as well, right? For everyone here, the game of the week is only one game a week, right? But you can't play the same game for 5 days a week, right? You could start with the game of the week, and then we have 60 other games in that playbook, okay? So after that, you just play any other game you want. So Alevo expanded learning. And again, if you guys have questions, again, please raise your hand or throw it in the chat, and I'll try to get to it as soon as possible. But what is expanded learning, right? Expanded learning opportunities. It doesn't mean an extension of instructional time, but rather opportunities to engage those students in enrichment, right? Play, nutrition, which, yes, sometimes we do snack. I'm not sure if we're full service technically, which means that we would be giving snacks if we were full service. I'll have to check with JT for Valverde and Cassandra for Corona. So we'll see about that. And then other developmentally appropriate activities such as brain breaks, such as homework help, things like that, okay? We'll go ahead and skip that in the chat portion. So here's an overview of kind of like what a program looks like, okay? I'm not saying this is going to be your schedule, but if you guys want to take a picture of this, take a picture, right? It may look something like this. Say your after school starts at 3 o'clock, right? You're going to be scheduled at 2:50, and it tells you, well, I mean, I can print this out if you guys want me to, or I can have the site leads make this. I may make your site leads make their own schedule that fits their school. But this is just like a general overview of what an after school program looks like, okay? Obviously, you start with a warm welcome snack and a conversation starter. And, just the description is each day students are greeted by their coaches and provided a healthy snack, right? Sometimes snack on different days goes like in the middle of the day or even towards the end of the day. And after that you have a conversation starter with the students, which is essentially a warm welcome. And that takes maybe like 30 minutes, right? Sometimes students, they got to get in line, they got to eat, then they got to throw their trash away. That's where we, make conversation with the students, help them open their little boxes of milk. I've had to do that a lot, you guys. You're going to have to help do that. The little carrots that come in the plastic bags, you got to help, like, the kindergartners and first graders open those things, right? So you're expected to do those kinds of things as well, okay? So keep that in mind. So again, that takes about 30 minutes. Next is a Levo EQ or sport, or, it can be, switched with enrichment. You guys do that, the whole 4-part lesson, right? You do that for 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Again, this is just like a general overview. Your site lead will probably have like a better understanding of what they want to do at what time. And then you'll do something like a brain break after that, after you do your Levo EQ for the students. Then you'll go inside. And this example says we're going to do homework, right? We're going to do their actual homework that they have at school, right? Alavo coaches support the students as they work individually or in small groups on their homework. In addition, supplemental activities are provided in case students don't have homework. There will be a lot of times students may say, Coach, I don't have homework, right? You'll see in the manuals I'll show you, it'll literally say if a student does not have homework, here's what we can do, okay? Then we may do another brain break. Then we'll get into the enrichment after, right? Which is for the Corona coaches who were there at that training last week. That's our actual like 4-part engage, explain, explore, elaborate lesson with the kids, right? And again, those manuals are on Coach HQ, and we lead those as the coach, right? You may be in the classroom by yourself. You may have another coach, depends on how many coaches are on site. That takes about 45 minutes. Then you end with that optimistic closure, right? What was fun, you guys? What did you enjoy? What are you looking forward to? We went over that. And then like a pickup at 6 o'clock, right? So again, this is just like a general overview of what an after school program looks like if you're working PLC, which is during the school day or lunch recess. Of course, it'll be a lot different, but for the majority of us here, I know a lot of us are working after school. So just keep in mind, this is kind of what it'll look like, right? Again, if you want to take a picture of that, totally fine. But again, I'm sure your site leads will have this mapped out a little more, exact, if that makes sense. Okay. So we'll just keep going on here, you guys, and talk about creating a safe, supportive, expanded learning community. Our programs are designed for research and evidence-based practices, right? So we don't just make curriculum, without, just like the knowledge of what we have, right? We actually use the evidence and research from all these other, places that we get information from, right? Cassell, that's actually where we get our words of the week from. We have 12 of them. We get our words of the week from Cassell, the MTSS, multi-tiered systems of support, all those kinds of things, you guys. It's all evidence-based research, which is pretty cool. So everything that comes out in our program, all the curriculum, the words of the week, the games, the lessons, they're structured, in that sense that, everything comes from that research-based, platform. So we'll go ahead and go to the next slide here and just talk about what does it mean, right, when we prioritize relationships, right, and providing a safe, supportive environment for students. So we're gonna watch this quick video. Now, in this video, you guys, it has like the students hugging a teacher. Again, here at the label, we have like a hands-off policy. You just give them like a fist bump or a high five. I really wish we would make our own video to, show what safe, supportive environments looks like. Maybe we will one day. But for now, we'll play this video because it kind of aligns with, how we want, our students to kind of look at us each and every day and to build a relationship. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play this video because this is stuff that happens in the classroom, right? And that's what this training is about today is, building those relationships inside the classroom. Okay, so I'll go ahead and play this video and we'll go from there.
Let's go. Strong relationships are central to the learning process. What the science of learning and development tells us is that we need to create learning environments which allow for strong long-term relationships for children to become attached to school and to the adults and other children in it. When children have experiences of closeness and consistency and trust, oxytocin is released. Oxytocin has many, many positive effects on the development of the brain. So when we think about a relationship, we're not just talking about being nice to a child. We're talking about a child having an experience of attunement and trust strong enough to release the hormone oxytocin. Good morning, Ariana. How you doing today? The purpose of the morning greeting is to connect with them and to just make sure that I'm seeing them as humans. Like I'm making that relationship with them, making that bond. I prioritize relationship building because getting to know them is the best part of the job.
When I come in the morning, we usually talk about things that are happening in our community.
We're trying to build caring and respect.
Teacher is trying to understand who I am and my values as a person.
When I have a free 45 minutes or an hour, I think to myself, I could sit down and catch up on grading, or I could go and make connections, whether it's a smile or a joke or a reminder. It validates their presence in the building.
Rock it out in the art room. It starts from so much honesty and transparency with kids. It's really easy to strive to be this like idealized, always ready to go elementary school teacher. And that's not real and that's not human. When people start talking about other things while I'm still giving directions, it feels frustrating for me and I have to take a breath. My students connect most with me when they see that I also struggle and I also have challenges. It takes a lot of vulnerability on my part.
When that student knows that you care about them, when they know that you're a human, let's think about that. Their academic performance in your class is going to be better.
If I'm comfortable around them, then I'm more confident around them and it's easier to ask questions and things like that.
So when you're looking at this graph, what is it that you think happened?
Some teachers I don't always get along with the best, so then sometimes I'm like, I can't do it, so I'm just not gonna do it. But when I like the teacher, I want to do their work. I'll be like, I can learn this.
You all have done outstanding work.
Emotion and learning are completely connected. If you're in a positive emotional space, if you feel good about yourself, your teacher, that actually opens up the opportunity for more learning and to see.
Awesome, you guys. We'll go ahead and stop it right there. I think one thing that sticks out to me is that when one of the students said, look, when I feel more comfortable and more confident, around, a teacher or my coach, I feel more inclined, to ask questions, right? I feel more inclined to, be given that support. And, of course, it starts with you guys, right? Being, that positive role model and that mentor. A video can only do so much. It really has to come, within you guys. And again, you have to be here for your purpose, which is what we talked about yesterday, right? What is your why? That was one of the questions that I made you guys throw into the chat. And that's the whole reason, right? To create those relationships, that rapport, learning students' names like we talked about yesterday, and again, creating those safe, supportive environments for students, to want to be with us, right? What does that mean? That means when we're doing our enrichment, means walking around, right? Walking around, asking students what they can add to their picture, validating their presence, in the classroom instead of, giving students a packet and just sitting down, at your desk, right? That's obviously not what we are as a label coaches. So keeping that in mind, I think is really important. And, just again, being that role model for students. And the beauty of what we do at Alevo is that unit 1, you guys, is all about building community, okay? So we have 8 units here at Alevo for our after school enrichment, okay? Each unit has 6 weeks, right? Everyone, of course, starts with unit 1. And again, Alevo sets it up perfectly where unit 1 is all about building community. Again, I told you guys yesterday, the first lesson for our enrichment is making the team agreement. That's literally the first lesson of the day. And I'll show that to you guys in the manuals when we look at that up on Coach HQ. And then for everyone else who has Coach HQ, which should be everyone, you guys can take a look at all the other lessons, which is really great, right? There's 5 lessons a week. Obviously, there'll be some days we don't have lessons, right? Like, Labor Day we have off. We have certain, days off during the school year where we'll just skip those lessons and we'll go to the next one. But that's what Unit 1's all about, right? Some goals of Unit 1, begin forming positive, trusting relationships, empowering students to participate in designing the shared norm, which is that team agreement, establishing routines and procedures. Boys and girls, every day we come to this classroom, we're going to put our backpacks down, give our partner a high five, and we are going to look on the board and see what Coach Reese has written down for the day. Thumbs up if that makes sense, right? That's an example of a routine and procedure, just essentially like their school day, right? They kind of know, what to expect every time they're with you. It develops a sense of predictability, and of course, the most important thing, creates a community within the program, you guys. Um, Bryce, that's a great question. How would you go about making these connections with kids if you're not on site permanently? Yeah, that's tough, you guys. It's kind of like me as a training manager. I don't make the connections with every single student because I go to like 50 different sites during the school year, right? So it is tough. I will say that, and I appreciate that question. Maybe even just asking your regional program manager if it's possible to be strictly at one site, right? If not, again, whatever site you're at, try your best, to learn the student's name at least and make them remember you, right? That's the thing. You want a student the next day, if you're not there, to say, man, where's Coach Reese? Where's Coach Bryce, right? But I will say it definitely is hard to make relationships and build relationships when you are moving constantly. At Aleva, we don't like to make people move constantly unless there's like call offs and stuff like that. And, that would be JT's responsibility, Cassandra's and Asante's, but still holding those same principles and values. Even me, sometimes I actually do go to some schools that I haven't been to in like 3 weeks, and they're like, "Oh, I remember you. You're Coach R, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." So it's pretty cool. They remember your face, you guys. So it's definitely a lot of fun. But just hold those same standards, Bryce, to when you go to each site, if that makes sense. Again, I know it is tough, but some of us may have to go through that where you are floaters, right? And you may have to go to a different site every now and then. So I appreciate that question, Bryce. We'll go ahead and move on here. Again, if you guys have questions, throw them in the chat box or raise your hand. I would love to hear you guys speak a little more. I may just call on some coaches sometimes to think what to add, to say what they think about a certain slide. So that would be great as well. But we're going to move on to predictable routines, you guys. So predictable routines are essential for student well-being and your own too, right? So what does this mean? So we're going to just look over here, right, for this example of lining up, right? So a consistent routine and procedures are something the students will do every single day, right? Have a routine for everything, right? Have a routine for going to the restroom. Maybe you have a buddy system, right, where they go with another student or they go with another coach. Maybe again, it's you have a different line leader every day, but everyone knows how to walk to the cafeteria. They follow this little crack in the tile or the concrete. They know where to put their backpacks down when they go to EQ. They know where to line up. Again, it's going to take some time, you guys, to build that routine, but I promise you, after a couple weeks, students will, make that routine as long as you guys are holding yourselves accountable to making that consistent routine as well. Clear procedure and the why, right? Make sure you're giving the students the why. Boys and girls, every day we go out to the field, okay? We are going to walk on this line right here through the concrete up near that tree over there to the left. Can everyone point to that tree over there? Awesome, boys and girls. Then we're going to put our backpacks down around that tree and we're going to line up on the fence every day to do our warm-ups. Thumbs up if that makes sense, right? And then you'll show them what that looks like, right? So here's an example of lining up. The procedure is having a designated line leader of the day in a line, facing forward, hands to our side. This helps us get to where we need to go in a safe and efficient way. I am going to call on the coach right here because I know this coach has worked with after-school programs previously, and I want to kind of hear their thought process on this. Alondra, if you don't mind speaking, what are some routines and procedures that you used to have for your old company? Maybe lining up or some kind of putting backpacks down, if you will.
Yeah, so we used to have actually a lot of routines. One specifically for lining up, I used to work a lot with our kinders. And one thing that we would do when we would have them walk from like the NPR to whatever classroom there was, so that there wasn't so much like the kids talking, we would have them march. And they would march on beat to a song, so they would read over, we're marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. So we would do that with them. That way we would minimize like them talking or like wandering off. So that was one of the routines that we had with them.
I love that. Yeah, marching, right? That's great. And again, it has that consistent routine. They know exactly where to go. Yeah, great job. Shayla, do you want to share as well, if possible, Shayla Gonzalez? If you don't need to, if you don't want to, no worries. I just think that we have a lot of valuable information.
No, yeah, I'll share out.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the main focuses that we did when transitioning from space to space was setting that line expectation with the students before we move anywhere. So when we're walking, make sure we are facing forward. We have our hands to ourselves. we called it our personal bubble. We stay in our personal bubble because mainly the older kids like horsing around. So setting those expectations before you move and setting stopping points if you're going a long distance. So if you're going across campus, you're stopping. Oh, our first stopping point is going to be the basketball court. My line
Yep.
leaders at our basketball court, we stop there. And then
Awesome.
just give them clear expectations as you're moving throughout the space.
Absolutely, yeah. I love it, right? Especially those stopping points if you're walking very far, marching. Again, you guys make it your own thing, right? If you see something happening that shouldn't be happening, thank you, Shayla, by the way. Reiterating that team agreement, right? Boys and girls, we said in our team agreement that we were going to be safe and keep our hands to ourselves, right? Some of us aren't keeping our hands to ourselves, boys and girls. Can we make sure we agree? Keep our hands to ourselves, and this won't happen again. Yes, Coach Reese. Awesome, boys and girls. Great job, right? So again, you guys really won't know those routines and procedures until you get on site, but here are some examples, right? Lining up, moving from one part of the class to the other, going to the restroom, going to the front office if a student gets hurt. How does that happen? How do you walk that student up there if you have a whole nother class? Again, sitting down in the classroom, what's the routine and procedure like that, okay? Consistent routines and procedures again. Here's an example of cleaning up the classroom, right? Review and model cleanup expectations and cleanup crew roles. You can give students jobs, right? Because after our enrichment, you guys, we're going to have construction paper. We may have glue sticks on the ground. We may have markers on the ground. Assign students jobs, right? Boys and girls, I need a table wiper. Here are my wipes, disinfectant wipes. Who wants to help me wipe down the table? Pick a student. You can have a supply organizer, right? Someone who passes out and picks up the paper, the pencils, right? Things of that nature. The trash patrol. I need 3 students to help me look on the ground and find trash in the next 5 seconds. And you guys can be the line leader for the day and pick our EQ game, right? I can promise you a lot of students are going to want to do that, you guys. It's really fun. Dismiss, and this is a big one right here. Dismissing each table once the area is clean and if they're quiet, right? I am going to dismiss the table that is the cleanest and the quietest first, and then we're going to line up right in front of our door. And then we'll go from there, right? So, something like that. I've seen that a lot of times. I think that's really cool. Offer prompts and reminders. And again, what's the why, right? Respecting the space, which is the classroom, because again, it's not our classroom, right? It's a teacher's classroom. Respecting the space shows care for the school and keeps teachers happy too. There may be some times where you guys have classrooms that teachers don't use. It may just be a portable or something, which is great, but you still want to keep it clean regardless, right? As the coach, you shouldn't be cleaning up alone. Again, encourage those students to take ownership. It builds a responsibility, which is very important. Organization, and it creates lifelong habits, just outside of work, right? If you're at home, when you have Legos on your floor, if you have your clothes, on your bed, hang them up. Some of you guys may have clothes hanging or clothes on your bed right now that you haven't put, up and hung up, right? So it just teaches lifelong habits, which I think is pretty cool. So we can definitely implement that. But we got our first question of the day, so everyone get your chat box out and get ready to write. So we just talked about what? Routines and procedures. So I want you to think about this. What's a routine you have in your personal life? Is it going to the gym at 6 a.m. every day? Is it getting Starbucks at 8 a.m. every day, right? What are the procedures that go along with that routine? I study for this class at 5 p.m. every day. Whatever you want. Go ahead and throw it in the chat, you guys. Just like yesterday, I'll give 3 minutes. I was about to say 30 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes, and I'll go ahead and read some off, okay? So think about what routine you have in your personal life, okay? And what are the steps? Whitney says getting coffee, right? Now, that's great. Think about it a little deeper than that, right? Think about the routine, right? Getting up, getting in your car at the exact time. Think about the routine with those as well, okay? Dishes when I wake up. I start every day with thanks and gratitude to control the start of the day with the vibe I operate on. Every day I make sure to read in the morning. I love it. Taking my vitamins, absolutely. Brushing my teeth in the morning. Always making the bed once I get off of it. That's great. I wash my face and teeth right after. Then I feed all the animals and then make breakfast and go to the gym. Awesome. Homework, going for a walk, cleaning up the house every morning. Going to the gym every day after eating breakfast and drinking 2 bottles of water. That's great. Routine I have is when I wake up, the first thing I do is make my bed and clean my room. I get to take my vitamin supplements. Every morning I wake up, I pray. I wake up at 5 a.m. to check ESPN. Yep, same, Christopher. Maybe not 5 o'clock, but that's I definitely do the same as well. Getting coffee at Dunkin' Donuts at 7 a.m. Wake up, pray, hygiene, make bed, gym, cook. I love it, Joseph. There we go. Feeding my dogs and getting ready. Absolutely, yeah. You guys definitely, we don't want to forget to feed our animals. That's for sure, right? A routine that I have every day is waking up at 4:30 to make prayer. I'll have to wake up and do wash up ritual, prepare for prayer. Awesome. Stretching when I wake up and going to sleep. Going to the BMX track every day before sunset for a fun workout. Waking up at 5:30, drink coffee and water my garden. Wake up, make coffee, make breakfast. Wake up, my wife helps me get ready for the day and gives the energy. And that's great, you guys, right? That's what all this is about, right? Having routines and procedures is like really important for having energy, for having, just something that's constant in your life every day. Reading my Bible and praying when I wake up. I go to the gym every day, 5:30 p.m. Putting my baby to sleep at certain time. Yep, making my tea, washing my face, taking vitamins, waking up and pray, make bed. Awesome, great job. Thank God, hygiene. Take my son to school in the morning. Then I had head to the gym for an hour. Awesome. Read some scripture, set the foundation for my mind, and keep my environment organized. Going to the gym, making my meal preps for the week. About 30 seconds, you guys. If you haven't thrown them in there, throw them in there. I walk every day in the morning. Yeah, absolutely. No matter what. Same routine every morning. Hygiene, getting dressed, getting in your car, waking yourself up and feeding the dogs. Absolutely. Getting up early to brush my teeth and face the Red Bull first, of course. Yep. And wake the kids up to start to get ready for the day. Routine I have is washing my face and brushing my teeth and feeding the dogs. Absolutely. Okay. Cool. Great, you guys. I appreciate everyone throwing those answers in there. Again, it just more so makes us think about what our routines and our procedures are and how we hold ourselves accountable to doing those things every day, right? We'll wait for this to go off right here. Like think about if you woke up every day and forgot to brush your teeth, forgot to feed your dog, forgot to get your Starbucks. How would your day be different, right? It's kind of the same thing, when we're talking about routines and procedures, and that's very important. So I appreciate you guys throwing that into the chat box. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and raise that hand or throw it in there. We got another coach here who's jumping in. Let me admit. We'll go to the next slide and talk about a supported transition, you guys. So we talked a little bit about brain breaks yesterday. I'll also show you where to find those in Coach HQ when we get to it. But again, brain breaks, what did I say they were yesterday? They're activities that you do that just don't have any materials. They don't have any balls, any cones, anything like that. And then we have multiple attention getters. They're calming. A community builder, a brain break to energize students, and a brain break for all grade levels. So when would you use brain breaks? When you have extra time between rotations and transitions, when you sense your students need a break. And these brain breaks don't take any more than maybe 2 to 3, maybe 5 minutes maximum, you guys. And I'll show you what a couple of them are. I think we did one yesterday, and there's going to be one on this next slide too, so you'll kind of see how they are. When you see your students need a break or reset throughout a block to maintain engagement. Sometimes those enrichment blocks, you guys, they're an hour long, right? Maybe in the middle of it. Boys and girls, I see a few of us are getting a little rowdy and we're losing a little focus. Here's what we're going to do. Everyone put your pencils down. Stand up, pushing our chairs, and we're going to do a quick brain break and we're going to get back to work, right? Something like that. To put it in perspective, the average attention span of a child is 1 minute every year. So a 5-year-old, their attention span is 5 minutes, and so on and so forth, right? So again, those can be found in the Coach HQ platform, which again, I'll show you guys a little later on. Here's an example of one right here, right? Again, this is a very quick brain break. It's called 3, 2, 1, go. And it tells you what kind of brain break it is. It's an energizer, right? It is an attention getter, and it's for all grade levels. So that's pretty cool about these brain breaks. And they're literally this short. They're only like 3 or 4 bullet points, right? Get students' hearts pumping with the quick sequence of exercises. And then it tells you what to say. So, boys and girls, we're going to practice our listening skills. I'm going to give you 3 exercises. See if you can remember all 3. When I say go, do the exercises as fast as you can. And here's an example. We're going to do 3 jumping jacks, 2 push-ups, and 1 sit-up. Ready, set, go, right? And it's something as simple as that, right? That's what a brain break is. You can level it up, which means you can add in, instead of 3, 2, 1, you can add 4, 3, 2, 1, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I highly suggest, on top of reading the coach manuals, you guys, which has the lessons in them, definitely look at these brain breaks as well, because they will definitely be important for when you have extra time. Okay. So we're going to play a little game now, and this is really fun. So get your chat box ready. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to explore safe, supportive learning environment. So there's going to be a series of pictures coming up, and you're just going to put yes or no in the chat. Excuse me, in the chat box. Does this look like a safe, supportive learning environment? Okay. So we're gonna start with this first one right here. Look at this picture. Team agreement has everything on it. Put yes or no in the chat box, you guys. Does this seem like something that would create a safe, supportive learning environment? Yes. Yes, very simple. I promise you guys they get harder. Very simple. I'm glad everyone said yes and no one said no. Yes, team agreements, right? I mean, look at this one. Be respectful, try new things, and do our best. Keep ourselves and others safe. And you see it's on a big poster board. And it has people who signed their names. C, Danielle, Martha. So it looks pretty cool, right? So again, that creates that safe, supportive learning environment because everyone knows the rules and the expectations, okay? So great job answering that one, everyone. We'll go ahead and go to the next slide here. I don't want to go too far. All right, here we go. So is this a safe, supportive learning environment? You got a student in front of the class and he's a little shy. Is this a safe, supportive learning environment? Yes or no? Seeing some N's, no's, no's, no's. Very simple, right? Okay, I see a couple coaches saying yes. I want to call on a couple coaches who said yes, and I want to call on a coach that said no. So, Bryce, you put yes. This is a safe, supportive learning environment. Why did you put yes? And now go ahead and call on the coach that said no. Go ahead, Bryce.
For me, am I muted? Okay.
No,
For
you're good.
me, it's like I grew up very shy, and it's like I think having that opportunity to like kind of be nudged to like face that fear in like a supportive environment, like obviously I don't know what the teacher's doing, I don't know if they're paying attention or being saying supportive words or anything, but it's like having the opportunity to like try to come out of your shell a little bit and like be used to this, like being in front of a classroom and in front of a small audience, I think was very helpful to me as a kid, but I could see it being no as well.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely appreciate your input right there. I like the way you're thinking, right? Sometimes, you need to be pushed to, get over stage fright, essentially, is what you're saying, right? So we'll go ahead. I'm going to call on someone who put no. We'll go ahead and go with Gabriel. Gabriel, go ahead and unmute yourself. Tell me why you put no for this one. Why does this not look like a safe, supportive environment, in your opinion?
I would say if it's like his first time talking on stage,
Okay.
I would like have support and be right next to him.
Okay.
So I'm like a yes and no too about it.
Yeah. I think for this one, you guys, or I don't think I know for this one. So the answer, so let me just say I love both of your guys' answers, but the answer for this one was no. Technically, we're considering it not a safe, supportive learning environment because the student, they're obviously shy and they're a little embarrassed, right? But I love what you said, Gabriel. If this is the case, you guys, for those of you who are at the Corona training, what did I say that we can do if a coach or if a student is up there and a student is shy? I said that we can have the student tell us what to say and we can say it for them and they can either stand to the side or go sit back down. We don't ever want to put anyone on the spot. But what else besides that? Does anyone want to answer this question? What could we try instead? Instead of throwing a student up there and having them present whatever they have to present, what else can we do? What else can we try? Anyone, go ahead and raise your hand. Shayla, you already spoke, but I'll go ahead and let you speak. Go ahead again, Shayla. What can we do?
I would say find this another student that the kid feels comfortable with, and they can be their speaker because I know some kids are more outgoing than others. So he can find a buddy that can be his speaker for him.
Okay, yeah, exactly, right. If the coach doesn't want to be the speaker, or if the student doesn't want the coach, it's totally fine. Have a buddy do it. I love it. We'll pick two more. I saw who else's hand is up? Christopher. We'll do Christopher then Whitney. Christopher, what else would you do in this situation? And then we'll go Whitney.
Probably see if it's the fact that they're going in the front of the class, maybe just have them stand up at the desk.
There we go, right? Very something as simple as that, right? Sometimes, again, stage fright's a big thing. If you stand up right at your desk, you feel more comfortable. That's totally fine. If a student is still shy or upset, again, they don't have to speak or, again, have a buddy do it for them, explain, whatever they want to say or a coach. Great job, Chris. And then we'll go Whitney. Go ahead, Whitney. What would you do in this situation? What could you try instead?
Depending on how the student feels comfortable, and encourage the student who's shy to pick a buddy to stand with them so they can work together and collaborate.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Right. So a lot of different other tactics, you guys. But yeah, I can see how some coaches put yes for this, right? But the answer for this one was no. And so just think of other things that you can do in this situation. So we're gonna go to the next one. We'll go to our feeling finder right here. So again, throw in the chat yes or no. Does this look like a safe, supportive learning environment? This is kind of what we did yesterday, right? This is what we did, I believe, for the warm welcome. Seeing a lot of yeses, a lot of yeses, a lot of yeses. Awesome, cool, right? And look, the feeling of the point of the feeling finder, right, is for students to really kind of put out there how they're feeling, right? And it's okay to validate those feelings if a student is in the red section or the blue section, because maybe you get to know something a little more about them that you didn't know. Hey, I see, you on the feeling finder, you put that you were angry. Do you want to talk about something? What's going on, right? And then, maybe that student can open up to you, right? So that can be a great way, to really gauge how students are feeling for the day. So I'm not sure if you'll get a feeling finder this big. If you do, you can always carry it around, or your site lead can have one. I know we have like magnetic ones. I have one slapped on my fridge, which is pretty cool. Or worst comes to worst, these are on Coach HQ as well. Or you can just write them on the board, right? You can write maybe 3 or 4 or 5 from each category on the board. But yes, absolutely, this is definitely a safe, supportive learning environment. So that's definitely a lot of fun for the students to do. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Is this a safe, supportive learning environment? Okay, now look at this picture right here. We have strike 1, strike 2. By the way, strikes mean maybe you're getting in trouble, right? Then you see the right side, and you see this little pin board, great effort, ready to learn, think about it. Is this a positive, this is a safe, supportive learning environment? Seeing some no's, seeing some no's, seeing all no's. Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and call on a couple of you guys and ask you guys why you put no, and then maybe what we can do instead, okay? I see Daniel, you raised your hand. So Daniel, why did you put no, and what could you do instead of this system that's here on this slide?
So I put no because my brother actually, me and my brother had the same first grade teacher, and she had this system. And my brother actually told me that he actually cried before because she moved his name down. And I've seen other students like they get like really depressed if you move their name down, and it's like it's kind of just like kind of mean to them. So I feel like something better would just be just talking to them one on one and like finding the issue, like what's wrong, like instead of just telling them that they're a bad kid, essentially.
Instead of humiliating them, basically, is what you're trying to say, right? Hey, everyone, look, coach, or Reese did this. I'm putting his name all the way down here. He needs to make better choices right now, right? So yeah, I love that alternative. Talking to them one on one. That's great. I love that idea. I'll call another coach. We'll go with Vanessa Lima. Why did you put no, and what could you do instead in this situation? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Vanessa, if possible. There we go. I think it's working. I think I hear something. Is it not working? No. Okay, we'll go with another coach. We'll go with Edward. Edward, why did you put no for this, and what could you do instead?
Well, I chose no because, the kids can be embarrassed.
Yep.
Yeah, and sometimes if a child gets embarrassed, they might retreat and they might not want to engage in activities.
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's the complete opposite of what we want. So what could you do instead, Edward? Like what could you do instead of this?
I guess there's more of an authentic way of maybe giving them a one-on-one.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right. That's always probably the go-to. Not sure my mic isn't working. No worries, Vanessa. Yeah, it can be discouraging to kids. Thank you, Andrew or Edward, for that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Vanessa. I do see one yes. Ayana, if you don't mind, if you don't want to, that's totally fine. I'm just a little curious. Why did you put yes? Is there a specific reason?
So, when I was in elementary school, maybe it might have been a negative, like I don't know, but
Okay.
When I was in elementary school, like it made me want to perform better in class. That could have been like, just like actions and repercussions from my side. Like I didn't want to get in trouble, so I just made sure I stayed good.
Got it. So essentially you're saying you used it as motivation, right? To not move farther down or to stay where you're at, correct? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can, yeah. Tatiana says the same thing. I can agree with that too. Yeah. But at Aleva, we don't have anything like this that's necessarily going to put students on the spot, and say you're on strike one, strike two, make better choices. So yeah, to mitigate this, you guys, I think it's always just important, if something is happening with the student, you're not liking their behavior, or you see they're going through something, just pull them to the side and, make it authentic, like Edward said, and, really get to the bottom of things instead of, putting someone on the spot. All right, we'll go to the next slide right here. I think we only have maybe one more. This may be the last one. Okay, yes or no? Does this seem like a safe, supportive learning environment? This is not a real picture. This is like a chat GPT picture. We put like coaches in orange shirts with students. Yes or no? Is this a safe, supportive learning environment? Seeing a lot of no's. Seeing a lot of no's. So we see students and then we see coaches in their orange Alevo shirts. No, they're not involved. That's what Sarah says specifically. Okay. So think about what we can do instead, right? For some of those coaches who said no. Okay. So I'm going to call on a couple of you guys and just be prepared to answer what we can do instead. Okay. We'll go ahead and go with, Alasia. Go ahead, Alasia. What can we do, or tell us what you put, and then what could we do instead?
So I put no simply just from the fact that it seems like they're more interacting with one another than the students behind them, and they kind of have no clue what's going on behind them with the students. And I don't think that in a safe environment there should be any instances where all of the coaches are talking with one another and kind of leaving the kids unattended. So it seems unsafe for that reason.
Right. And for the Corona coaches who went to the training last week, what is something I said that was very important? Look at this guy right here with the white hair. What do students see? What do students see? They don't see his face. They see his what? His back. Bingo. Bingo. Never turn your back to students, okay? And on top of never turning our back to students, of definitely being spaced out, right? Great answer there, Alasia. I appreciate that. You hit it right on the nail, right? We don't know what's going on behind our backs. Why are they talking to each other? During the session. Look, if it's like a session where you guys have like a break, then obviously that's totally fine. But with the kiddos, right? There may be points where you're by yourself, right? You may never have another coach there with you, so you may not have the opportunity to do this anyway, which is great, right? We want you guys to focus on the students. So I appreciate that there, Alasia. Jacob, I saw your hand up, Jacob. Do you want to go ahead and add some context into this? What could you do instead?
What I would do instead, like say they're having like a talk about some of the students, I'll try to group around or like have a couple of us on one side and another so we can still watch the students as we have talk about whatever we talk about.
Yep.
But I would never have my back against a student because and that, for example, in that picture, they're really young, so they'll probably wander off or grab something they're not supposed to. Or I know kids young put stuff in their mouth, like something could happen, and you're not aware of it.
Absolutely. Now I know this is like an outside picture, and today again we're talking strictly like inside the classroom. This would be the equivalent of like you pretty much leaving the classroom, like as the coach, or just straight up turning your back to them and not paying attention. So yeah, I like everyone's answers. I really do appreciate that. Daniel says they can be talking side by side too while facing the students. Yeah, that's totally fine, right? Just of course in close proximity. And of course, the conversations, as we know, should be. Sorry, I'm getting some notifications. Appropriate and about the job or the task at hand. So yeah, great job, everyone. Let's see. Okay, so that was the last one right there. Okay, so you guys nailed it. As far as creating safe, supportive learning environments. Again, some are pretty self-explanatory, but I wanted to open the floor to see what you guys think that you would do in different situations, or in those situations what you could do differently. So great job there. So now we're going to actually talk about kind of like this slide right here. We're going to talk about active supervision and monitoring, okay? So active supervision and monitoring, tips from the training team at Alevo. Some of this is self-explanatory, you guys. We should know these things just simply as adults, right? But of course, we're going to go over them to make sure that we understand. Number one, working as a team, right? If you have more than one coach in your group, delegate responsibilities, right? If you're by yourself, obviously you pretty much can't delegate responsibilities. You got to do the 4-part lesson by yourself, the enrichment by yourself. There may be a site lead there, or the site lead will be there if you need support. There may only be 5 coaches on site sometimes, right? Sometimes there may be 7 or 8, right? But let's say you do have another coach with you, delegate and work as a team. Who's going to lead the game? Coach Reese is going to lead the game. Who's going to be supporting? Coach Johnny's going to be supporting. Who's going to run a brain break if there's extra time? I can do that, right? So come up with those things, with your team maybe before you get on site. Something I'm always going to ask you guys when I get on site is what games do you have in mind, right? So keep that in mind. If I ask you what games you have in mind, maybe have 3 or 4 in mind, right? Because after you play one game for 10 minutes, students are going to get tired, right? Or I'll say something like, hey, what's your backup game, okay? When we're outside for our EQ. Of course, you guys all said it, being mindful of your body language, right? Always face students and keep them in your line of sight. Use proximity if you notice potential hazards. We talked about for the Corona coaches about the fields, right? And same thing for the Valverde coaches. Some of the fields that you go on, that we play our games on, are terrible, right? I'm just going to be honest. Some of them are. The grass sometimes isn't cut. There's dew on the grass. There's gopher holes, ant hills. Kind of survey the area, and just make sure that there aren't any potential hazards. I remember one time in the Harupa district specifically, there was like a coyote who got loose, right? You guys know where Harupa is. They have those mountains over there and whatnot. So that was, like a big hazard, right? So we pretty much had to cancel the program for the day because that coyote was on the loose. So it was a little extreme. But yeah, so just making sure you know exactly where you are in the field and making sure there's not any hazards. And then we call it splashes of orange, you guys, instead of like a wave of orange. So what does that mean? Say you have a big square field, it means one coach on this corner, one coach over there, one coach over here, not so close together and more so a wave, right? Essentially just spreading out is what I'm trying to say, right? Spreading out on the field. If Coach Reese is taking his group out to play EQ, Coach, Johnny can't be right next to me, right? Coach Johnny can maybe be like 10, 15 yards, on the other side. So none of our groups collide or, there's hearing issues because it's so loud, things of that nature. Joseph says, are we able to bring any extra equipment we already own? Just ask your regional manager. Joseph, ask Cassandra. The equipment, you guys, should be there for you, right? We're starting with flag football in Valverde. The flag football equipment should be there. On top of that, the Alevo EQ gear should be there from last school year. You guys have seen all my soccer balls. You guys have seen my hula hoops, cones, stuff like that. But to answer your question, Joseph, yeah, just go ahead and ask your regional manager, and they'll let you know that, okay? But we'll go ahead and skip this next slide. And I think we'll have a break coming up here in a few minutes, you guys. So, I know we're almost done here. But we'll go ahead and continue going with child development and differentiation overview. If you have any questions, again, please raise your hand. So that's what we can do to actively supervise and monitor students. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, I'm going to skip that and I'm going to go what we can do to increase student buy-in, right? What does that mean, student buy-in? That means what can we do to make the students engage with us on the highest level possible? Well, number one, we already talked about it earlier, is just building relationships, right? Building relationships, making students feel comfortable in a safe, supportive learning environment. We'll skip middle school, so don't even, you can, put your hand over that if you want. But we'll talk about TK and K, right? Give them time to play and explore, right? Celebrating the small wins. When you're playing with TK games with TKK first graders, when you're doing enrichments with them, it's not going to come out perfectly, right? The game isn't going to be perfect. The enrichment isn't going to be perfect. Just celebrate the small wins, right? They really appreciate that, and we should as coaches, right? Frequent brain breaks because, their attention span isn't, as structured as older kiddos, right? And stick to the routines, obviously, right? Stick to the routines, especially with the younger kiddos, and review them daily, not even weekly, daily. And they love to be helpers and leaders. And for some of us who have maybe worked in a setting with kiddos, we know that they love to help clean up. They love to help go get the ball bag for us, things of that nature. So TK and K students, they're going to be, a lot of energy and a lot of joy. So just keep that in mind. Elementary school, what can we do to increase student buy-in? Give them structured choice, right? Some of the Coach HQ or some of the manuals on Coach HQ, some of the lessons say, hey, you work independently or work with a partner, right? You can, maybe give them a choice if possible. Make and share your own personal connections to topics, right? For the Corona coaches, again, when we were at that training last week, at that enrichment training, I talked about bingo myself, right? I went on a cruise, I played bingo, I won all this money, right? Because that's one of our lessons, right? Playing bingo. So building those personal connections in there, letting the students know that you've been there yourself, right? Celebrating growth and acknowledging the students' efforts, I think, is also big. It's the same thing with TK and K. Again, just validating, the way they're feeling and the work that they did, okay? We'll go ahead and skip middle school again because we won't really be working in any middle schools, but um, yeah, so we'll go ahead and go to the next slide. We're going to talk a little bit about differentiation now, okay? So modifications in the classroom. The next slide is modifications outside the classroom. So what does that mean? To make like the lessons easier or to make the lessons harder or to make the environment more engaging? How can we level down the classroom? Give sentence starters to students, right? Give one-step instructions to students. Boys and girls, lift your paper. Awesome, boys and girls. Now lift your scissors. Now we're going to cut those scissors. Excuse me, cut that paper with our scissors, right? Something like that. Modeling and making it visual for the kiddos. Doing it together, which is, again, what I just did, right? Additional ICQs. Who knows what ICQs mean? Go ahead and throw it in the chat. What does ICQ mean? I'm going to do a sentence starter. It's instruction. Go ahead and throw it in the chat. ICQ. Instruction what? I want someone to throw it in the chat before I say it. I'll come back to that. More frequent attention getters and using brain breaks, right? To level down inside the classroom. ICQs, instruction. Close, Whitney. ICQ means instruction checking questions, right? So instruction checking questions are something like this. Boys and girls, how long do we have to finish our project? 10 minutes. Awesome, boys and girls. When you're done, are you putting your project on your table? Yes, right? That's what an ICQ means, right? Essentially, it's more so letting them know the structure and the expectations while using it in question form, if that makes sense. Leveling up, we're gonna actually do this a little later. We're gonna watch a video, one of our EQ games, and we're gonna ask you guys what we can do to level up or level down. But level up for our games, or excuse me, not our games, maybe for like our enrichment. Okay, this is gonna be a competition. Who can make the best, whatever planet, right? That we're making, right? Sometimes like we'll draw planets, right? We'll paint planets. We'll make it a competition, right? What is working well? What would you change, boys and girls? What can you add? Product choices, create a skit or a song. I wouldn't really do that one. Adding in challenges and encouraging variations, right? Again, what can we do to make this more interesting, okay? How about now you make a planet, but around it you have the sun, you have the solar system, right? You have an astronaut flying. So just adding all those other variations in to level up. In other words, this means making it a little more challenging and making it harder for the students, which is good, right? Adding a spaceship. There we go, Whitney. Perfect. So yeah, these are things that you can do inside the classroom. Let's talk about outside, like on the field, right? What can you do to make our games easier? Okay. Chunking skills, right? Say we're playing lawn bowling. Boys and girls, we are going to roll the ball to a partner before we actually get into our game because I want to make sure you guys know how to roll the ball. We don't throw the ball in lawn bowling, we roll it, okay? I don't like this one right here because we can't lower hoops at the schools. Some schools have lower hoops, but to make it easier for students, you would lower the hoop or increase the goal size of like you're playing soccer. One thing that you guys can do if you're playing basketball, okay? You can put the hula hoop on the actual hoop of the court, and then that circle can be used as like the goal. So I've realized that, and that was pretty cool. And making the games cooperative, right? To make the games easier, not having a winner or a loser, right? Just making them cooperation games. What can we do to work together? Leveling up some games on the field, you can make the grid as big as you want, right? For Valverde, guess what? We're doing a flag football training on Monday, right? With all the coaches, all 55 coaches in Valverde. We're doing a scrimmage, right? I'm going to make that field huge and it's going to be competitive, right? So bring your cleats because it's going to be a lot of fun, okay? Okay, no, we're not actually gonna bring cleats, you guys. We'll use our normal shoes. I'm getting a little too hyped right now. Football season's around the corner. So it's a lot of fun. That's actually why we're starting with flag football out there in Valverde. But make the games competitive is my point, right? You guys, I promise you, you will see me at these schools hooping with students, right? Throwing the football. Shayla, you said you saw me on site, right? What was I doing with the students, Shayla, when you saw me on site? What was I doing?
They're playing soccer
And what was I doing?
out there scrimmaging with them.
Exactly, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm putting my backpack down, you guys, putting your stuff down, right? Kicking that ball to everyone, running around. It's a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun, you guys. Again, um, you know, I will never make a coach do something that I can't do, right? I'm not a hypocrite. And so that's the way I like to live my life. And so you guys will definitely see me out there. I promise you will not see me out there under a tree, right? Leaning on the tree doing your evaluation, right, with my little clipboard. You will not see me do that. I promise you guys, okay? And if you do, please call me out on it, but that won't ever happen, okay? So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then adding additional obstacles, right? Makes the games a lot more fun as well, and makes it a little more difficult. So for our Valverde coaches, when we have that field training on Thursday, I'm gonna ask you guys, what can we do to make this game harder? What can we do to make this game easier? Okay, so it'll be a lot of fun. When's our break over here? I'm not sure. Okay, you guys, maybe we don't have a break, but here before we get into enrichment, I'll give you guys a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna speed through the rest of these slides, okay? Because I know we've been here already for over an hour. Because we're gonna get into our enrichment right after this. This is where we're gonna open up the actual manuals and go through everything. So I'll give everyone 5 minutes, okay? We'll come back at 11:16, you guys, and then we'll get ready to go for enrichment, okay? All right. Go ahead, you guys. You can go ahead and turn your camera off, go to the restroom, get something to drink, whatever the case may be. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. Two minutes, you guys. 2 minutes. Make sure we come back, turn our cameras back on, and we will rock and roll through the last 40 slides of this training, and a lot of them are very quick. We'll get you guys out of here at 12 o'clock again. So a couple more minutes or a minute and a half. One more minute, you guys. One more minute. And time. Okay, you guys, it is 11:16. Again, everyone, cameras back on. This is very important, you guys. So I highly suggest that we really lock in for these last 44 minutes. That's it, you guys. That's all we got left. Let's lock in because this is where we're gonna go over the enrichment, and I'm going to open up the Coach HQ to show you where you will find the playbooks, right? If you ask me on site, I'll be like, hey, we went over it in the training, right? I'll show you obviously, but just keep that in mind, right? So make sure that we're really paying attention and we're ready to rock and roll. We'll go ahead and yeah, we'll just go ahead and go from there. So again, these last 44 minutes here will just be about enrichment. Corona coaches, you guys had that training in person. Valverde coaches, we're going to try to get you an in-person enrichment training as well. Like we're literally going to do a couple lessons if we get that approved. So we'll see about that. If not, this may be the only actual enrichment training that you have, right? So that's why it's really important because again, in both districts, we're doing EQ, we're doing sports in Valverde. We may do sports in Corona and of course enrichment, right? This is the stuff we're doing inside the classroom, okay? Um, I had a district a couple years ago, right, who, um, you know, some of the coaches they didn't really get trained on this, and they didn't know how to run enrichment, and it really it wasn't good, right? Like it wasn't good at all, and we had to very quickly fix that. So that's why it's very important, you guys. Why I say that we really do pay attention. Um, so we know what we're doing on site. But we'll go and get right into it. So, what is enrichment, right? Enrichment is a set of engaging hands on activities that incorporate elements of STEAM and career technical education skills like critical thinking and collaboration, okay? So, who does it, right? Well, the coach. The coach, you lead the discussion. And those playbooks are not, we don't call them playbooks, we call them coach manuals. Those are in Coach HQ, right? So you lead the discussion, the explanation, and brainstorming. Reese, how do we know what to say? Again, everything is in those manuals. It literally says, say, boys and girls, today we are doing yada, 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 right? It tells you what to say, you guys, so do not stress about it, okay? It's, pretty easy. The lessons are like a page and a half. So, it's definitely something, not to stress about. How long does it take? About 45 minutes, right? 45 minutes during the expanded learning program, where obviously a classroom is probably the best. And then again, look at the manual and follow the 4 E's. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to say this another 50 times. Everything is there for you. The lessons do the work. You just have to add your own pizzazz into it, your own charisma. So it's a lot of fun, right? We don't say, okay, go in there and build and have the students draw a spaceship. We don't do that. We have the enrichment manuals for you. So here they are, okay? We have 3 enrichment manuals: early childhood, elementary, and middle school. Don't worry about middle school. Okay, so this is very important. If you guys want to write this down, go ahead and write this down. Early elementary is only TK and kindergarten, okay? Early elementary is only TK and kindergarten. Elementary is 1st through 5th grade. Okay. So if you have a first grader, you're going to use elementary. If you have a kindergartner, you use early childhood. Middle school, don't worry about middle school again because we're not doing middle school. But just keep that in mind, okay? So that's how you divide your groups. You'll have a TK and K group, then you'll have your first grade group, second grade group, third grade group, whatever group you have, you'll simply follow that manual, okay? So all enrichment manuals follow the 4E structure. We have 4 E's: engage, explain, explore, elaborate. That kind of sounds like our normal 4-part lesson. I'll break it down for you guys. I believe we have slides coming up that talk about each one right now. Engage is kind of like our warm welcome, right? A quick fun this or that. A quick, just very quick question to the students that's fun, something to break the ice. The explain portion is explaining the lesson, right? Awesome, boys and girls. Now, today we're going to learn about space, okay? Whose favorite planet is Mars. What's your favorite planet, right? Here's what the planets do. Here's what they are, right? And it tells you what to say again in the manuals. And then the explore portion is the actual activity, right? Here's what we're going to do, boys and girls. I'm going to pass out everyone a piece of paper with color pencils and markers, and we're all going to make our very own planet, okay? So that's what explore means. Explore means they're actually going to do the hands-on activity. That takes the longest, again, about 25 to 30 minutes, okay? And then for the elaborate portion, that's just like quote unquote the cool down, right? Boys and girls, pencils down. Awesome. Everyone stand up and we're going to put our arms behind our back, our hands behind our back, and we're going to walk around the classroom. And we're going to look at everyone's creation, okay? So that's more so like of that elaborate portion. We call that a gallery walk. Or you'll say something like, boys and girls, who wants to show us what they made with their planet? What did you put on your planet? Who lives on your planet? Things like that. And again, the manual tells you what to say. So again, you don't have to make any of this up, okay? You have the same overall unit theme over 6 weeks, right? So for example, unit 1, I told you guys we're doing community, okay? So we have 6 weeks of community, okay? That's like the theme. Then number 2, unit 2 is global ambassadors for another 6 weeks. Then unit 3, unit 4, unit 5, and so on and so forth. It goes out through the whole school year. It ends with a 6-week showcase. It's a week-long project that invites students to show their learning to the community, a community mural, invention, convention, etc. Okay. Any questions, again, throw them in the chat. But here are some highlights. Like, here are some things that you're going to do, right? For TK and K, we're going to have something that's called Invitation to Play. They're going to play with magnetic tiles. Build me the World Trade Center with magnetic tiles, right? And, you know, we'll have another thing. It's like water stations or something, right? You'll have a bucket. And again, all this stuff will be provided for you. The magnetic tiles, the Legos, the construction paper, right? Again, it's all going to be there. But you know, these are just some things that we talk about for TK and K. Elementary, Lego. Some elementary schools we have Lego lessons, right? Okay, let's stay on the topic of space. Boys and girls, with the Legos in front of you, and we have actual Lego bins. I have one in my other room, but I'm not going to go get it right now. We'll say something like, okay, boys and girls, now for the explore portion, we're going to build a rover to Mars using the Legos in your box. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Reese, will we be able to print the manuals out? So the manuals, and again, I'll show you them. The thing with the manuals is that they should be printed out. We should get them in the box that delivers everything. If not, the manuals are like 100 pages, you guys, right? It's something like that. Maybe a little less than that, but you got to remember it's for each week of that unit, okay? And each lesson. So to answer your question, Christopher, you could, but you're going to be spending a lot of money on ink, right? But they should be printed out. If not, I've seen coaches, you guys, if you guys have an iPad, bring your iPad. That's totally fine. Your phone is okay as well. However, sometimes, you know, maybe teachers or principals see you on your phone, they think something else, right? But if you got like an iPad, you just log into Coach HQ, pull it up, and it's amazing. Shayla says, are the lessons curated for the little ones, or would the coaches adjust? Yeah, so Shayla, I think this answers the question. We're going to have TK and K manuals and elementary manuals. If that didn't answer your question, let me know. But yes, it also gives you ways to make each lesson harder or easier, right? Leveling up or leveling down, okay? Again, we're not going to worry about middle school. I'm just going to completely ignore that because we're not even doing middle school, so don't worry about that. But here are the 4 E's, okay? We're going to go through them. So every enrichment lesson follows the same structure. And guys, they look exactly the same, okay? Which is amazing. We're going to open up Coach HQ in a little bit here. But the 4 E's, you see explore is the longest because explore should take the longest, right? So number 1, engage. Look, it says how long it takes too, 5 minutes. Hook them in with the community circle question, and we give you the community circle question. Next is explain. It says take 10 minutes. This probably never takes 10 minutes, to be honest. But again, we tell you what to say in the explain portion. Explain the topic and activity for the day. Depending on the lesson and age group, model step-by-step instructions. Brainstorm ideas as a group. Set behavior expectations. Release students to begin their exploration. And so the explore portion, this says it takes 20 minutes, maybe 25, 30 max. Students explore a hands-on activity, right? Like making the actual planet on their construction paper, right? They either complete it by themselves or with the whole group. Coaches are actively monitoring, supporting, and asking guiding questions. So this takes the longest, right? Which is great because that's what we want this time to take, okay? And the elaborate portion is, again, what we talked about, right? Doing more so cleaning up and intentionally reflecting on the lesson, right? With a gallery walk or tell us, what you put on your planet. With another community circle, which is fine, or you can just have them in their desks, gallery walk, or a sharing opportunity, okay? And here is, look, this is the first lesson. And guess who's starring in that picture? Me, right? The first one is going to be the community circle introduction, okay? Week one, lesson one. This is literally how short they are, you guys, okay? I'm going to try to, there we go. Okay. So this is what the lessons look like, you guys. How easy does this look? It looks very easy. It's very simple, and I'll tell you all about it, okay? It has the objective right here, okay? Students will start to get to know each other using the game, this or that. They will form their first community circle of the year to begin establishing positive community routines. So it tells you the objective and it also tells you the materials, okay? Um, and then we have right here, we have a coach tip, right? It just gives you a tip to use. Write out names for students to, it's a little small, you guys. Write out names for students on labels or stickers, note cards to use their name tags as you can call people by names easily on day one, okay? So it gives you like a coach tip, and then it gives you a coach voice. A coach voice is something that you can say, to make the lesson a little more, I guess you can make it more so of your kind of thing, right? Building a culture of safety by writing out how to say your name and how you would like to be addressed on the board. Boys and girls, my name is Coach Reese, but you can call me Coach R, and I have it on the board right here, okay? So those are, just a few tips you can do. And then we have our 4 E's, our engage, our explain, our explore, and our elaborate, okay? And again, if you squint, you can see, let me see how much closer I can get, okay? If you squint, you guys, it tells you what to do and what to say. Okay. So again, week one is all about community circle introductions. Okay. It tells you what to do. Get on the same level as the kids and greet everyone with a warm welcome. Okay. Put out poly spots, which you don't have to do. And invite students to join you in your circle. And then again, it tells you what to say. You literally read this right off from the manual for the iPad, whatever you have. So, boys and girls, norms or agreements are ways of treating others that are accepted and shared by a group of people. Some norms that I follow in my own life are yada, 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 right? What are some norms that you think we should follow while we are together? Okay. And you ask the students those questions. Okay. Then we go to our explain portion. During our community circle, we can share with our bodies, or we can use a talking piece. When we use a talking piece, only the person holding it should talk, and if not, we are respectfully listening. Okay, so you guys see what I'm doing? I'm not making anything up. I'm reading right from the lesson plan. Okay, so what's going to be the activity for the day? Right, that's in the explore section. So let me get a little closer to the explore section. Practice the community circle norms by asking a question and passing the talking piece around. Do this 3 to 4 times with different questions. Okay. So for the first lesson you're going to do, it's only going to be a community circle. Let's practice following the community circle norms and getting to know each other. Okay. What's your name and how old are you? What's your favorite game to play? What is your go-to snack and what's something you're really good at? Okay. Now I know what you're thinking, Reese. That's only going to take like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, right? Again, this is where brain breaks come in handy, right? Some of the lessons for week or for unit one, you guys, they're not as like, we're not making planets yet. We're not, going outside and doing this and that. Unit one is again about building community. So as the weeks go on, you'll start to do more complex lessons. But that's why this one is so um I'm not going to say easy, but it's like very, very simple. Okay. And then we have our elaborate portion, right? And again, I'm not going to read that, but it just tells you what to do and what to say. I'm so grateful we got to know each other today, and I'm looking forward to how much fun we're going to have this school year. What's something you hope we get to do as a class, right? And again, it literally says it right there, right? What you say. We also have vocabulary right here. What's a talking piece? What's a shaka? And then we have the ways to level up the lessons and a way to level them down. To level this lesson up, challenge students to contribute questions they would like to learn about the group. To level this lesson down, run frequent brain breaks between each question. Simplify community circle questions by giving a few choices or answers. Okay. And that's what it looks like, you guys. This is actually 2 pages, but it's very easy and it's very simple. Okay. Especially the first couple weeks. I do want to leave this part for questions before we actually get into it. Does anyone have any questions that they have about the lesson plan itself? Each one will literally look like this, you guys, except the lessons will be different. If you have any questions, raise your hand or throw it in the chat. But I just want to make sure everyone is clear and kind of understands what the layout looks like. No questions? Cool. All right, you guys. Again, if you do, just let me know. We'll open up Coach HQ in a bit. But I actually want to take a poll for you guys. Oh, I got a question right here in the chat on the Coach HQ where we'll be. I'll open it up in a few minutes, just or Joseph. So we'll get to that. But we're gonna take a quick poll, you guys. So go ahead and open up your chat box and just answer these questions. Okay. So we're gonna start with the first question. Okay. Number one question: yes or no? Enrichment will be graded. Put yes or no in the chat. Number one: enrichment will be graded. No, 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 no. There we go. Awesome, you guys. Enrichment absolutely is not going to be graded. So never grade enrichment. This is after school, you guys. It's supposed to. It's about being fun. You know, it's not about, you know, oh, this is a terrible project, you got to F. No, we're not doing any of that, right? Okay. Second question. Each lesson follows the same structure using the 4 E's. Yes or no? There we go. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Awesome. Very simple, you guys. Again, all of them literally look like that. I think you'll see me probably in a couple other pictures too. So that's pretty cool. Number 3, every student should be creating or making the same exact thing during enrichment. Every student should be creating or making the same exact thing. No. Yeah, absolutely, right? You want students to, you know, be creative and, you know, everyone has their own mind. Everyone's different. Of course, we should be following the same lesson, yes, but making the same exact planet if we're making planets, no, right? For example, those Corona coaches, you guys remembered when we did the beautiful oops, right? And we, our paper, we kind of, ripped it. You guys made your own thing. That's exactly what this question is alluding to. Let's go to number 4. Enrichment is an optional part of the program. Yes or no? Enrichment is an optional part of the program. Absolutely. Yep. No, no, no. Yep. Again, you guys, this is really what after school is about, right? It is about the 3 pillars that we have: sports, EQ, and of course enrichment. And then you can add the homework help in there if you want to as well. Okay. So to answer your question, so to answer this question, obviously is no, right? This is definitely a part of the program because this takes an hour, right? We have to do this. Number 5, last one. Coaches are not allowed to modify any part of the lesson. Yes or no? Coaches are not allowed to modify any part of the lesson. No. There you go. Exactly. And that's very simple, right? You guys literally see right here, it gives you ways to level up and level down. Absolutely modify it, right? Modify it to meet the students', you know, needs, right? So great job, everyone. Those ones are very easy and very simple. But yeah, you know, definitely, of course, we're not going to be grading, you know, these enrichments, and everything follows the 4 E's, okay? And this is like an acronym that one of our, I think it was maybe an operations manager came up with this. After every lesson, you guys reset the space, and the space is, again, it's just the acronym. S means store materials, right? You guys are going to have an actual storage room. Every school is different. I don't know where, but the site lead will know. Okay, so once you're done with every lesson for the day, store those materials. Okay, if you have another class coming in after you, obviously just make sure you know the materials are nice and tidy and neat. But at the end of the day, store them. Put tools, tech, and supplies back where they belong. P stands for pick up scraps, right? Look at the floor, because you don't want a teacher coming in the next day and say, wow, a Lavo messed up my carpet, right? Again, you know, I'm just saying this for, you know, to make sure that we're very clear. Unfortunately, this happened in one of my summer programs where we did enrichment. Teacher came in during the summer program the next day. Desks were out of order. There was some paper on the ground, and they got into the teacher's drawers, right? The students did. So, again, you know, not to call anyone out or anything like that. It wasn't anyone on this call, but I'm letting you guys know that so we make sure it doesn't happen in the future, right? Something like that happened, okay? And we couldn't use that classroom anymore. So, you know, we live and we learn. Arranging chairs and stations, right? That's exactly what the A means, which is what I was talking about. If you have to move desks, make sure you put them back at the same place you got them. C, check for mess. Wipe, wipe the tables. Wipe off the board behind you, right? That has your name. Sweep or report any spills. We will be working with paint, you guys, for some lessons. Be very careful with paint. We do have paper towels. We may have tablecloths as well, right? Like you get from like Dollar Tree. So I believe if we have tablecloths, we definitely need to use those. Or maybe I've seen coaches when we do paint, they just do the lesson outside the classroom, which is fine. And then E is evaluate your area. Give it one last look. Again, what would a teammate say, or what would a teacher say? Is this, is this space clean? So it's a cool, pretty, a pretty neat acronym right there. Space. We'll get into Coach HQ in a little bit, you guys, but think about it. Go ahead and write in the chat. Everyone get their chat box out. I'll give 3 minutes again, and we are going to talk about it. What makes enrichment time different from a regular classroom lesson? Go ahead and throw it in the chat. What makes enrichment time different from a regular classroom lesson? Okay. What makes enrichment time different from a regular classroom lesson? It should be way less stressful. Yep, that's true. Daniel says no grading. Enrichment time is not graded. Awesome. It's more flexible and it's more fun. No pressure. It gives more creative freedom. Kids can have fun with the lesson and not be graded. Exactly right. It may get a little loud, you guys. It may get a little loud, because it is, it's, I'm not going to say it's not strict, right? But understand it is after school, right? And the students, they're there to have fun, but, make sure like they still keep their voice level down, like, to a level 1. The kids have more creative freedom. It's more open-ended. We aren't trying to make kids regurgitate the lesson word for word. It's for fun. It helps the kids. It's more engaging. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of engaging. Yep. More fun or pressure, right? I mean, we're not telling the students, none of the lessons, you guys, are like, okay, here's what 2 times 2 is. We're gonna try to use multiplication tables. It's not none of that. It's literally fun lessons like that. Okay? So all of them are fun, and they should be fun. Gives kids more options to think outside of the box. It's more creative and exciting, allows for more expression for the students. Yep. Kids can have fun and not be stressed about getting graded on it. Absolutely. It gives their minds time to rest from all the learning and be able to simply feel free. I love that one, Gabriel. Yeah, that's true. Think about it, you guys. These kids are going to be in school, what is that? Almost like 10 hours of the day, right? They're getting there at 8:30, maybe 8 o'clock, and the day ends, school day ends at like 2:30, right? Now they're staying an extra 3 or 4 hours after school, right? And so just understand that as a coach, right? Have a little empathy for them. Again, we need to be assertive as the coach, but again, understand, where they're coming from as well, right? Because we're not in school for 10 hours out of the day. Maybe some of you guys were when you were younger, and you know how it feels. So just keep that in mind, engaging with one another. Awesome. We'll just go ahead and keep moving on here, you guys. Great job in the chat. Gives you more time to engage with the students. Absolutely. We already took our break, so we're gonna skip that. We're not gonna role play. I may just do the role playing since I kind of already did it right here for our community circle introduction. But this is the second lesson you guys are gonna do, and this one's called name games. Okay. And again, this is learning more about the students and their names. You see, we have a little picture right here what kind of shows you what they're gonna do. Andrew, you see Andrew, the objective, it looks like the students are going to get a piece of paper and write an acronym for their name. Okay. So let's zoom in. Okay. So this here is this lesson zoomed in. Okay. So again, we have the objective and the materials. Okay. Name games is the name of the lesson. Students and coaches will take time to learn each other's names by playing 2 named theme games. Okay. And here are the materials: plates, cups, scissors, markers, or crayons. And we give you a little, note here: prepare in advance if possible, review the game options, and write them on the board for the students to choose from. We have our coach tip and our coach voice. Model how to respectfully ask and re-ask names, that learning names takes time, and that everyone's name is important. Okay, so we're going to actually not do the role play. I'll be the one doing it. But again, this is all what it looks like, you guys. So here's the engage portion. Stand up in a community circle. We're going to play this or that, which is what we did for the Corona enrichment training. Okay, use the choices to start or add your own. Ice cream or popsicles, right? So again, the engage portion, you guys, is something to break the ice. Okay. And again, this tells you what to do. This portion tells you what to say. Okay. Boys and girls, it's time for a round of this or that to help us keep getting to know more about each other. I want to know everyone's names. Okay. It's only day 2. I want to know everyone's name by the end of the week. I'll give 2 choices. We're going to play a game called this or that. Stand up if you prefer this, or sit down if you prefer this. Okay. And, we'll be like, okay, stand up if you prefer ice cream, or stand up if you prefer popsicles, right? And this is just the engage portion for this one, specifically this lesson, but each lesson has a different engage portion, okay? So again, it's just a quick icebreaker, something fun to get the students ready and engaged. They're coming outside from EQ, they're sitting down. You kind of want to shift their mind towards, okay, it's time to focus on, enrichment, okay? Takes about 5 minutes. Then we get to our explain portion, okay? Again, we tell you what to do and what to say. Choose two name theme activities from those provided, and those names, the game options, are right here. Offer choices to the students for at least one of the games. So, boys and girls, today we are going to play a few games to help us learn each other's names. I'm going to pick one, and you can pick the other. Okay. This is the picture. So this picture right here, the one where they did the acronym name, that is this game right here. Have kids create name acrostic poems and either hang them on the front of their desks on a wall or in the classroom. An example would be if your name is Fayez, the F would be friendly, the I means interesting, and the A means awesome, and the Z means zealous, right? And the students can draw it just like this picture, okay? So again, that's something to help the students know the other students' names, and that's one game, okay? You would just choose another game. Name toss or name ring toss or hickety pickety bumblebee, whatever game you want to pick, you guys. You just read these and choose whichever other game you want to choose, or the students would pick that other game. Okay. So for this one, we're not going to go in the breakout room, but this is the acrostic activity, right? The student's name was Andrew. Andrew's American, nice, daring, rough, energetic, and wise. Okay. And you can see it's pretty cool. He made it like checkered right here, right? So that would be just one of the games, right? And then you would pass maybe this around, to the students. Who is Andrew? Andrew, tell us, a little bit about yourself, right? Towards the end. And so, I think it's really cool that we have these kinds of lessons, you guys. And then we go to our elaborate portion, okay? And again, the explore portion, this takes the longest, takes about 25 to 30 minutes. So you would play two games, okay? And you would just choose from these two games right here. And then, the students do that. You're walking around, you're supporting, you're helping them. Coach, I have 3 E's in my name because I do, right? I'm excited, I'm energetic, but I can't think of another E, right? You would help, Reese come up with another E or any kind of word that you feel like best fits Reese or Andrew or whatever the case may be. Be that support outlet for the kiddos, okay? And then lastly, we do our elaborate portion, okay? Boys and girls, we want to make sure all of our areas are cleaned up. Have students clean up their space. Once the room is reset, form a community circle. What I've done before is played the cleanup song, right? Pull it up on YouTube, clean up, right? And it's like 2 minutes or a minute and a half. That's one way for students to very quickly, put things up. After they're done, they get in a community circle. So, boys and girls, what's something new that you learned about someone else in your class today, other than their name, right? And again, that's the way to use that elaborate portion, and we tell you what to say. Do you bring your own iPads? If you have your own, Daniel, absolutely bring your own. Again, a phone's a good option too. Just know that you'll have to scroll. But again, these should be printed out. These enrichment manuals should be printed out. Okay. Now, again, that lesson was this lesson right here. Okay, name games. And what's the vocabulary? It gives you vocabulary for each one too. What is a name? The word people call you by. What does respect mean? Treating others kindly and valuing who they are. And then here's the way to level this lesson up and a way to level it down. To level it up, challenge students to create their own name game. If they come up with a fun game, email it to the curriculum team at Lauren Casterly at Aleva Learning. To level down this game, focus on one game during the explain and explore portion of the lesson. Break it up with brain breaks to keep things moving. Okay, so that's the way to level it down. Instead of 2 games, play one game, which can maybe just be this acrostic poem, right? So again, you guys, this is what all of the lessons look like. Okay, will we be able to bring the manuals home with us? Whitney, no, we cannot unfortunately bring the manuals home. They have to stay at the school. Great question though. When you're at home, you guys just look at them on Coach HQ, right? Then once you get to the school, that's when you'll have the manuals. Okay, but that's a great question. Now, for the purposes of time, we're not going to, put you guys in breakout rooms and whatnot. This is just another lesson right here. This is called Team Pen. As you can see, as the weeks go on, I wouldn't say the lessons get a little more complicated, but they are definitely maybe just a little longer, right? And, we have a picture for each lesson and what it looks like. So it's very important for site leads to prepare. And, the site leads, they'll tell the coaches on site, hey, this is what we're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By the way, lesson one means Monday, lesson two means Tuesday, lesson three means Wednesday, and so on and so forth. Okay. We're gonna skip that brain break, and I'm just gonna go ahead and open up Coach HQ right now, and I'm gonna show you guys where to find the lessons. Okay, so everyone pay attention to this because this is probably the most important part of the day. Okay, so I'm going to Coach HQ. Boom. This is what Coach HQ looks like, everyone. Okay, so on your phone it may look a little different, but first off, before we get into any of the manuals, the monthly coach training, right? Where you find the monthly coach training, this is mandatory for everyone. You just click here, it takes you to the training, and you do it, okay? After that, Reese, where's the word of the week? Where's the warm up, the game of the week? You just scroll down, boom. The warm up welcome, you'll simply click on there, it'll give you a warm up welcome. And how do you know you're on the right week? Because it'll say August 4th through the 8th, okay? Next week's is already up, August 11th through the 15th, okay? So I'm on this week's, and I'm gonna click the word of the week. Okay, it's Monday. I don't know what the word of the week is. The word of the week is leadership. You guys can't miss that, right? It's right in front of your face, and we have a video of leadership. We also have those level down words. What's another word for leadership? Helper for TK and Kinder. What's another word for leadership for elementary? Inspired. And don't worry about the middle school word. But these are the words, right? And then you click tell me more. Boom. Boys and girls, inspired means having the motivation to do something or to get something done. Okay, these are all on Coach HQ, and we have one for each word of the week. Okay, we have ways to be inspired. Being inspired is contagious. It unlocks creativity. And remember that question that we ask in the community circle? All the questions are on the right side right here. Questions around self awareness, self management, social awareness. Okay, how can you set up your environment so that you feel inspired? Is there a historical figure that inspires you, right? There's so many questions, you guys, and you choose any question you want, but that's where you will find the word of the week, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys the game of the week. Where do you find the game of the week? Right here. Boom. I'm clicking game of the week. What's the game of the week this week? It looks like is this frog and toe? This is spot on. Okay, this is spot on. You click this picture and the video pops up, and then it tells you what the game of the week is. Okay, gives you the objective, it gives you the materials, all that. Okay, so that's where you find that. I'm not going to click on the warm up, welcome, and the cool down, you guys, but you would just click those, and it can tell you what to do for a warm up. It can tell you what to do for a cool down. Okay. Now we're going to get into the manuals. Where do I find the manuals? You're going to go to buy program and look, expanded learning unit 1, okay? The brain breaks are also right here, by the way, but we're going to look at expanded learning unit 1, okay? You click unit 1, all you simply do, boom, look at that. There they are. Unit 1 TKK coach manual, unit 1 elementary coach manual, middle school. Again, don't worry about the middle school manual. You do not need that. If you scroll down, they'll have the academic supports. That's like for a homework help, you guys. When the students have no homework, that's for when students have no homework. Okay, and then it just gives you an overview. Okay, of the elementary. We are a team. We are curious. I wouldn't focus too much on that. I would focus on the manual. So I'm gonna open it up. Okay, I'm gonna open up Unit 1 Elementary. Okay, I'm gonna open it up. It's gonna look like this. You can either page fit it or you can download the PDF. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it at page fit right now. Look, it has 125 pages, you guys. Okay, so for some reason it made me go all the way to the bottom, but this is where all the lessons are gonna be, and it looks just like this. Elementary Unit 1 Community. Okay, that's one of our training managers, C. And this is really cool. It has a table of contents. It has week 1, week 2, week 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. It has the icon key, the feeling finder, the quick tips, and the materials. So I'm going to go to the icon key. Look, it tells us what the engage, explain, explore, elaborate means. We're going to go past that because we already know. And then it has it in Spanish, which is pretty cool. Okay. So if you want to learn it in Spanish or if you want to read it in Spanish, that's totally fine. We got our feeling finder right there. Also, I believe that's in Spanish. Steam challenges, don't worry about those too much. Some sharing strategies, some cleanup strategies. Reuse any materials that can be broken down or partially used. Students can take home their projects unless stated otherwise. Then it has the materials for Unit 1, which is really cool. Paper, balloons, construction paper, crayons, what's reusable, markers, pencils, yada, yada, so on and so forth, right? And then we get into the actual lessons, okay? And this tells you a snapshot. Here's lesson 1. Here's lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, okay? And remember the extra homework block. If students have no homework, this is where you can use this as well, okay? Which is pretty cool. a math game, write a narrative prompt about writing about a day that you felt happy or content. So that's pretty cool. But the lessons, again, look, they're right here. What we just looked at, they're going to be one after the other. Here's the lesson one, community circle, what we just went over, right? And it has everything there for you. Next page is what? Lesson two. So everything's going to be there for you. Lesson three, so on and so forth, all the way down. Once you get to lesson five, right? That's the end of the week, okay? And then that's it. Then we get to week two. Okay, so that's where all the lessons are going to be. Okay, now make sure again you click on the correct lesson in the correct manual. If you have TK in kindergarten, you're not clicking elementary, you're clicking TK and K. Okay, boom, I click TK and K, and guess what? It's the same exact thing, you guys. The same exact thing. Of course, just the lessons are a little different, right? Um, this one is a little different. A way to do the community circle. This one, lesson two, is called sharing hearts, right? Here's the objective, here's the material. So the lessons are going to be different for the younger kiddos, okay? But Joseph, does that answer your question? That's where you find this, okay? That is where you find the materials. Let's see, I got a question here. So will we be by ourselves with students our first day? You'll be with other coaches, Chris, but probably the first day you won't even do this. You're just going to really just build rapport with the students the first day. But when you guys are doing these with students, you may be by yourself, right? There's 5 coaches at a school. Coach Reese, Coach Chris, Coach Vince, Coach Lonzo, Coach Bryce, okay? I got my group of 20 students. They're first graders. Coach Bryce has his group. They're third graders. Coach Vince has his group. They're fourth graders. Does that make sense? Right? And you're going to half of you guys will be on the field, half of you guys will be inside doing the manuals. Once that hour is up, you guys will switch. And then you'll give snack. You'll do the homework help. Again, your site lead will have the actual times, the exact times written out for you, so you have a more so of a schedule. But yeah, that's what that to answer your question, Chris. You may or you may not be by yourself, but you won't be at the school by yourself. You guys will never be at a school by yourself. There will always be at least like 3 or 4 other coaches with you, but you may be by yourself with the class, right? I understand the more training is after school program. What routine can we expect with lunch recess? If you're working lunch recess, you guys, or if you're working PLC, the only thing that you have to worry about, you ain't got to worry about none of that. You just have to worry about the playbook, okay? You need to worry about having games in mind, okay? You click the coach playbook, and that's what lunch recess looks like, right? For lunch recess for PLC, look at all of our games right here, okay? And your goal is to play games with the kids at lunch recess. That's it. That's all you're doing. Does that kind of make sense, Elijah? Um, so yeah, sometimes they'll ask you like to help with snack, and then you can go outside and play with games. But look at our playbook. You guys has the core practices, and they have 4-part lesson plan, the words of the week, and then we get into all of our games. You guys, look, we have TK through second grade games, 3 in a row, bear, salmon, mosquito, caterpillar game, all the way. We got 60 games. I'm still going, and I'm not even on the next section, right? Third through fifth grade games. So these are what the games look like. Okay. That's what you're going to be doing for lunch recess, strictly, okay? So that is going to be, again, on the main page. You scroll down, you click download coach playbook, okay? What time do we need to be at our site for after school? Whitney, it changes for each school. Coronita Elementary may start at 2 o'clock, but Rosa Parks Elementary may start at 2:30. So it's different for each school, okay? But that, you guys, is what Coach HQ looks like, okay? The words of the week. By the way, they're right here. You click on label skills. All 12 of them are right here. Okay. Brain breaks. What did I say about brain breaks? They are right here as well. Okay. You click brain breaks. If you have extra time, boom, I'm downloading the PDF. I got about 20 tabs open right now. And look, again, I don't know why it took me all the way to the bottom, but it's only 15 pages, right? What you have is your icon key, and you have all your brain breaks. 3, 2, 1, go, which we went over. Rainbow breathing, high five, balloon breaths, hot cocoa, lion roars. We have so many brain breaks, you guys, and they're all here. And look how short they are, right? So these are things that you use when you have extra time with kiddos. So it's a lot of fun. Okay, so that's where you find the brain breaks at. Questions. I received an email from Cassandra at training tomorrow. Yeah, Joseph, I think that is in person. Yeah. Yeah, so Corona coaches, Cassandra sent you guys. You guys will have a training tomorrow in person at like 1:30 or something like that. So check your emails. And Shayla says, our grades going to be allowed to be combined? Yes, they may, Shayla. If we only have like six, say we have like six first graders, we may just combine them with the second graders. It just depends on the enrollment. That's all that means, you guys. Okay, but we'll go back to our slide deck right here. I'm not gonna make you guys answer this one because we didn't run that lesson. So we'll go ahead and go to the next slide very quickly. We got about 5 more minutes, you guys. We're almost done. We'll just quickly talk about homework blocks. We're not gonna play the video, but the homework block is designated time when students are doing their own homework or if they don't have any homework, right? You can gather them as a whole group, have them do work time, their homework time, and they wrap up and they clean. Okay. Um, Again, this is where we, as the coach, this is not our enrichment. Making sure the volume is very, very low, you guys, right? And students are actually focusing on their actual, homework. Provide brain breaks if need be. There may be read aloud. You guys may have books if students don't have any homework. Okay. Academic support, again, we just showed it what it looks like, you guys, on Coach HQ. They have read aloud books, they have writing prompts if they finish their homework early, math games, and we have read alouds, again, as I said, right? Creating your own week at a glance. We're not going to go through this, you guys. It's going to look different for every single school. We already went through Coach HQ, you guys. Again, this is the website. If you don't have the website, this is it. It's alevocoachhq.com. Write that down, okay? That's how you're going to log into it. No, it is not an app, not just yet, okay? Yes, that's Corona only. So yeah, so just keep that in mind, you guys. That is what you're going to use. We already took our virtual trip. We went over the unit books, the academic supports, the curriculum calendar. I didn't show that to you guys. It's just right here. You click on curriculum calendar, and it tells you actually what lesson you should be running each week. Okay. So we're in August, and we're here, Unit 1, Week 3. So see, we're already behind, you guys. They actually started this in like July, okay? They said Week 1 was July 21st, but again, we're starting late, so you really don't have to focus too much on that. We're gonna go on our own pace, okay, for each district. But aside from that, optimistic closure, okay? Again, we have those snapshot pages that we saw again in the playbook for each week. We're not going to do our pop quiz right here. Last thing before you guys go ahead and open up that chat box and throw in the chat, okay? Choose one of the following prompts and answer the question. Something I learned today is I am looking forward to my first day on site because something I'll do as a result of this training is yada, yada, yada. Go ahead and pick one, throw it in the chat, okay? Then we got a couple more slides and we'll be done. Something I learned today is where to find the enrichment manuals, right? You can put whatever you want. Go ahead and throw it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and start reading them off. I'm looking forward to my first day on site because I'm excited to do a Levo EQ. Something I do as a result of this training is look over Coach HQ to be more comfortable with it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to my first day on site because I'm eager to meet my students. Something I learned today was how to use and navigate Coach HQ. Where to find games, absolutely. Excited to learn to use Coach HQ. Something I learned today is where to find all games and activities. I'm looking forward to my first day because I'm excited to meet my students. Looking forward to my first day because I kind of jumped on me. Something I'll do as a result of this training is having more and better routines. I love that one, Daniel. Yes, make sure you guys don't forget your routines and procedures. I learned about using Coach HQ. I'm looking forward to my first day on site so I can meet my students and coworkers. Definitely. And then Gabriel, stay after so we can figure out your Coach HQ situation. If you guys don't have Coach HQ, stay after. I can get you your login, okay? But everyone here should have it. Looking forward to getting back into my routine and meeting my new team. Absolutely. Awesome. I'm not going to read it too much, you guys, since we're almost out of time. Just again, thank you for joining today, you guys. Before you log off, please make sure, we didn't do the form. We just put everything in the chat. So don't worry about that. Same thing as yesterday, you guys. Go ahead and get your phone and go ahead and scan this QR code. Scan this QR code, and the trainer is going to be me. The training is going to be EXL. EXL stands for Expanded Learning. Enrichment and Academic Supports. Go ahead and fill that out. I'm looking forward to my first day on site to meet all my students and play games. So go ahead and fill that out, you guys. Make sure that you get that on the QR form. And it's about to be 12 o'clock, you guys. So go ahead and clock out right at 12 o'clock, and I'll make sure if you weren't able to clock in, I'll clock you in. If you don't have Quinix at all, reach out to your regional manager, whether it's JT or Cassandra. And then same thing as yesterday, you guys. I don't know why that's up right here. You should receive that certificate of completion. Locate the day 2 training task in HR Cloud. It'll say certificate of completion awarded to Reese Fontana, day 2 training, right? And that's about it. But look at that. We finished right at 12 on the dot, you guys. So I do appreciate everyone be here. Chris, I'll approve your device. I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please stay. Questions about training or Coach HQ, anything else about scheduling, that's not going to be me, you guys. It's going to be either JT or Cassandra. So yeah, if not, you guys are free to go. It's already 12 o'clock. I don't want to keep you longer than I have to. So you guys are free to go, okay? And Joseph, thank you for saying that about the training. I appreciate that. No worries, you guys. Yep. Have a good
Hey,
day.
Reese.
Yes.
So yesterday my phone broke,
Uh-huh.
so then I logged into through QueenX on my iPad, and I think that's why it says that I need managerial approval for my
Oh,
device.
I could do that. I could do that. Okay. I'll get yours and Chris's. Can you?
And
Okay.
then I'm not gonna get my replacement phone until tomorrow, so
I can clock
um
you in. I can clock you in. Don't worry.
okay.
And then Serenity. Who else?
So, so
Go
hey
ahead.
Reese, this is Chris. So when I go into
Okay.
my Quinix, it's not letting me like when I click on the shift,
What
it
does it
won't let me
say?
do anything. Okay, so when I click on it, it just takes me to like another
It's probably saying that your device needs to be approved. So I'll approve it today, but just get back to me tomorrow. And if it doesn't, if it's different, if it's the same tomorrow, then let me know. Okay. But
Okay,
I'm
no
pretty sure
problem.
your device just needs to be approved. That's all it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Cool. Did Gabriel jump off? Oh, there you are, Gabriel. Perfect.
Can you
I'm
approve
still
my
here.
device too?
Okay, cool. Tatiana asked you, right? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. I'll go ahead and do that after this. Gabriel, stay
Hey,
like I said. I'll get you your Coach HQ. Jacob, you're good. Jake.
hey,
Oh,
Coach Reese.
yeah. What's up, Jacob?
I have a quick question. I lost the email that had like the link for the Coach HQ. Is it just coachhq like .com to get to it?
AlevoCoachHQ.com. That's all.
AlevoCoachHQ.com.
Yep. No spaces. Yep. That's all it
All right,
is.
perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Cool. Yep. No
All
problem.
right, good day.
Let me open up your profile, Gabriel, and see what's going on. Anyone else have any questions that aren't Coach HQ?
Yeah, who's the RPM for Valverde?
JT.
Oh, JT? Okay.
Yeah. Do you have his number?
I'm
His
pretty sure I
email?
can find his email in my email list.
I mean, worst comes to worst, Adam, we're going to be at the field training Thursday. So if you have any questions, you can just ask him there.
Yeah, it's just with my Quinix login, I'm having trouble.
Okay, yeah. Again, I can clock everyone in for today who wasn't able to, so I got you on that. Don't worry.
All right, thanks, man.
Cool. Yep. Jacob De La Torre and Marissa, do you guys have any questions, or are we good? Maybe she just
Sorry. Yeah, I think I'm good. I was just looking at the Quinix, trying to see how I could log in. I mean, clock out.
There should just be an option that says clock out, right?
I'm actually looking for it right now, but I probably could figure it out. If not, I'll just let you know tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
All
If
right,
not,
thank you. Yeah.
awesome. And then Jacob, Cassandra, I guess you guys are gonna have in-person training tomorrow. So any questions that you have for her, she can answer those. Yeah. Check your email, Jacob. I guess she just sent it out. I guess I don't know either. Yeah, I wasn't added to it. It's her own thing. Check your email. But yeah, go ahead and check that. But Gabriel, go ahead and take out a pen or a pencil. And I'm gonna give you your username. So Gabriel, you're
What a freaking day, boys. I'm out of here. Managed to trade on my phone. What a day. Dude, Deku one for all. Dude, wait, I need that one. No, I bet I'm getting squeezed right now. Ow. It's just chopping. Damn thing. Would it be good if CBC decided to flip right now? Which was kind of looking like that. Damn, saw 200 down here. The trade isn't dead yet, but I gotta go to gym. See you later. Great day today though, no matter what. Walking away 3,000 profit. Awesome day, baby.